Welcome to Science for Sleep, where wonder and calm meet. Each night we drift through galaxies, oceans, and mysteries of the natural world, not to startle, but to soothe. 3I, Atlas versus Oumuamua. The Interstellar Visitors, the second visitor. There are moments in astronomy that feel like déjà vu. A point of light appears, faint at first, then brighter, moving in a way that does not belong to any known family of objects. Astronomers lean closer to their screens, their breaths unconsciously syncing with the slow rhythm of the stars. And somewhere, deep within the dark, the universe seems to whisper again. Years ago, Oumuamua passed through our skies, the first confirmed traveler from another system. It came and went with the grace of a drifting leaf, its shape unknown, its silence complete. It was a question written in starlight. Now, there is another. 3I Atlas, the second interstellar visitor. Where Oumuamua was quiet and solid, this one is luminous, alive with movement. One whispered, the other glows. Between them lies the story of how the galaxy speaks to itself. No one expected another so soon. Oumuamua had felt like a once-and-forever event, a singular messenger from somewhere else. But 3I Atlas proved otherwise. It reminded us that our solar system is not isolated, but open. That the space between stars is not empty, but full of passing lives. For every star that forms, countless fragments escape. Comets, shards, frozen dust, each set adrift by gravity's patient hand. 3I's Atlas is one of these fragments, a bright echo from another dawn. When it was first noticed, it shimmered faintly in the constellation of Hercules. Its motion did not match the comet's bound to our sun. Instead, its trajectory curved too wide, too free, a path that would never loop back. The orbit spoke before the light did. Interstellar, another traveler, crossing our sky for the first and only time. Astronomers watched in silence. For some, it felt like greeting an old friend. For others, it was the confirmation of what they had quietly believed since Oumuamua vanished. That the galaxy is alive with visitors, drifting between suns as naturally as pollen between flowers. The distances may be vast, but the current of gravity connects everything. As days passed, 3I Atlas grew brighter. Telescopes captured its tail, long, radiant, shedding dust and gas in soft spirals. It was the opposite of Oumuamua's quiet minimalism. Where Oumuamua gave us nothing to see, 3I Atlas gave us everything, a glowing confession of its nature. It was icy, fragile, alive with sublimation. As sunlight touched it, the frozen gases within began to melt and release, forming a halo of vapor that glimmered faintly blue-green. It was as if the void itself had chosen to breathe. People often imagine comets as fiery travelers, but their light is not fire. It is reflection, the gentle scattering of sunlight across dust and ice. In that glow, there is peace. Each molecule of vapor escaping 3I Atlas carried a piece of its home, an ancient chemical fingerprint from a star far away. Somewhere in that chemistry were familiar signatures: water, carbon monoxide, ammonia. The same elements that fill our own cosmic neighborhood. Different origins, same ingredients. It was a reminder that life and everything that precedes it is universal. Astronomers traced its path backward, following the arc of its motion through time. It did not point toward any known system. Its origin lay in the dim outskirts of the galaxy, a place without names, where light takes 1,000 years to cross a thought. There, perhaps, a planet broke apart, or a comet was flung outward by the gravity of two dancing stars. Perhaps it had been drifting for millions of years before finding our sun by chance. The odds are unimaginable. Yet it happened twice, within the span of human memory. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas. Two travelers from the same silence, arriving within a decade of each other. For astronomers, it changed the feeling of the night sky. Where once it seemed static, now it felt fluid. Stars not just shining, but sending. The distances between systems no longer felt empty, but threaded with motion. The galaxy had become a living sea. The differences between the two visitors were striking. Oumuamua was small, likely no more than 100 meters long, its surface red and inert, with no trace of gas or dust. It spun erratically, reflecting light unevenly, suggesting a shape unlike anything we had seen, flat or elongated, or perhaps tumbling like a shard. Three-Eye Atlas, by contrast, was vibrant and expressive. Its nucleus glowed, its tail extended in long filaments, and as it neared the sun, it began to break apart. It was not built to endure heat. Its brightness was its farewell. To compare them is to compare silence and song. Oumuamua moved like a thought, sharp, brief, vanishing. Three-Eye Atlas moved like a melody, rising, shimmering, fading. One was the echo of something that had cooled long ago, the other, the breath of something still alive. Yet both carried the same truth. The universe is restless, and nothing truly stays still. When Three-Eye Atlas began to disintegrate, astronomers felt a mixture of sorrow and awe. They had hoped to study it longer, to learn its secrets. But its breakup was also a gift. Each fragment a clue, each shimmer of dust a sentence in the language of creation. The gases it released told us about its birthplace, a region rich in volatile compounds, colder than any place near our sun. Its composition spoke of a distant cradle, perhaps orbiting a star smaller and redder than ours. The galaxy, it seemed, was full of such cradles. In that realization lay a kind of comfort. If fragments like this are so common, then connection is not rare. It is the rule. Stars exchange matter the way trees exchange pollen, the way oceans exchange waves. We are surrounded by a quiet commerce of creation, a slow circulation of worlds. Every few decades, one of these messengers will pass close enough for us to see. Each will tell us a little more about the whole. In the quiet of observatories, people watched Three-Eye Atlas dissolve. Its tail widened, its core dimmed, and within weeks, it was gone, dispersed into the soft brightness of the solar wind. All that remained was light and memory, and the certainty that it had been. And in that gentle disappearance, there was peace. Not every story ends with permanence. Some end with radiance fading into calm. Oumuamua left mystery. Three-Eye Atlas left beauty. Between them, a complete sentence, that the universe is not finished speaking. The data will be studied for years. Spectra, brightness curves, orbital models, all will be written, debated, and refined. But beneath those details lies something quieter, a collective human breath. The realization that the infinite is not distant, but present. Every so often, the galaxy brushes against us, gently, almost tenderly, as if to remind us that we are part of its ongoing thought. And perhaps that is the most comforting truth of all, that even across billions of kilometers, even across epochs of silence, the stars still send their fragments to us, as if to say, you are not alone in wondering. The night sky holds both of them now, one remembered, one observed, their paths diverging into infinity, their stories converging in ours. If the listener is still awake, they can imagine the two travelers continuing. Oumuamua, gliding cold and intact through the deep three-eye atlas, spread into a faint mist of particles, both carried by the same cosmic current. They will never meet, but they will pass through the same endless calm, each following the quiet song of gravity, each teaching us how to listen. The memory of the first. When people first learned that something from beyond the stars had entered the solar system, the news felt almost imaginary. For centuries, humanity had pointed telescopes outward, looking for other worlds. Oumuamua was the first time another world had, in a sense, looked back. Its name, chosen from Hawaiian, meant scout, or messenger sent first. The word carried both reverence and intimacy, a recognition that this fragment was not merely a curiosity, but a participant in the long conversation between suns. It arrived in October 2017, faint, fast, and silent. Nothing about its presence announced itself loudly. It was simply noticed, an unfamiliar streak in the survey data from pan-stars, a glint that did not fit any catalogued orbit. Astronomers ran the calculations again and again. Each time the same impossible answer appeared. This object was not bound to the sun. Its path was hyperbolic, open, endless, a line that entered and would never return. In that realization lay both wonder and stillness. For the first time, we were witnessing something born elsewhere, passing through the small cradle of our own system. As it approached, telescopes across the world turned toward it. It grew brighter for only a short time before fading again. A brief shimmer, like the reflection from a slow-turning blade. The light curve wavered irregularly, suggesting rotation and elongated form. Was it a spindle, a disc, a shard? The data allowed many shapes, but confirmed none. Oumuamua kept its silhouette secret. It did not shine by its own power, it only borrowed light. And yet, in that reflected glow, 1,000 questions arose. Why no tail? Why no gas escaping? No dust? No halo? Every comet that neared the sun announced itself with a luminous plume of ice and vapor. This one remained austere, stripped of adornment. It moved through sunlight the way a thought moves through silence. When it passed its closest point to the sun, only 0.25 astronomical units away, it should have shed material. Instead, it accelerated slightly, as though pushed by an invisible hand. The numbers were undeniable. Gravity alone could not explain it. But the acceleration was tiny, delicate, like a whisper of wind across glass. Perhaps solar radiation pressure, some said. Perhaps outgassing too subtle to see. Whatever the cause, it fit the object's character. Motion, guided by gentleness. In laboratories and observatories, scientists debated quietly. Each explanation carried its own poetry. If it was driven by sunlight, then its body must be thin, light enough to sail on photons. If by vapor, then it hid its breath perfectly. Some wondered if it was a relic of technology, the fragment of a sail once made by minds like ours. Others smiled at the thought and returned to data. The truth, they knew, was already wonder enough. To those who studied it night after night, the experience became personal. Astronomy, which often deals in numbers too large to feel, suddenly had a visitor. A tangible bridge between the abstract and the real. Each new measurement was like a heartbeat from afar. The universe, usually silent, had sent a pulse through space. Then, it was gone. By the end of 2017, Oumuamua's brightness had faded beyond reach. Telescopes could no longer follow. It slipped back into anonymity, leaving behind graphs, spectra, and an ache of unfinished sentences. Its departure was so quiet that it felt like waking from a dream you wanted to continue. Yet even absence has substance. In the years that followed, Oumuamua's memory became a field of study unto itself. Models multiplied. Papers filled with elegant conjecture. Some imagined it as an icy fragment encased in carbon dust. Others as a hydrogen iceberg, frozen so cold that its evaporation left no visible trace. A few pictured exotic geometry, thin sheets, hollow shells, ancient sails adrift. But beyond theory lay the deeper impression: humility. For all our instruments, we had barely touched its shadow. The more we tried to define it, the more it became a mirror. We saw in it our curiosity, our longing to connect, our need for meaning in motion. It reminded us that knowledge is not a cage, but a horizon. We walk toward it, and it keeps receding, beautifully, endlessly. Still, the data held patterns worth keeping. The object's color, reddish like distant Kuiper Belt bodies, spoke of cosmic weathering. Its reflectivity suggested metals and silicates baked by radiation. Its speed, nearly 26 kilometers per second relative to the sun, told of deep galactic origins. All facts, yet all strangely gentle when spoken aloud. Numbers can lull as surely as verses when they describe something far enough away. As the memory of Oumuamua settled into history, it changed the way we looked outward. Before it, interstellar space seemed like a wall. After it, that wall felt porous. Every comet, every faint streak beyond Neptune was now suspect, a potential traveler from elsewhere. The cosmos had opened a door. When 3I Atlas was found years later, that door did not creak. It was already ajar. Observers were ready, instruments tuned, hearts steady. They looked up, not in disbelief, but in greeting. The new visitor felt familiar because the first had taught us how to welcome strangers from the stars. And still, Oumuamua's quiet continued to echo. Even as 3I Atlas brightened and broke apart, there remained a longing for the silent kind of mystery. The type that does not dissolve, but endures. In a sense, 3I Atlas was the answer to a question Oumuamua had never asked. What would it look like if the next messenger chose to sing instead of whisper? To think of them together is to hold contrast in both hands. One solid, one vaporous, one lasting, one ephemeral. Yet both parts of the same dialogue between gravity and time. They prove that the galaxy communicates not with words, but with motion. Every fragment that drifts between suns is a sentence. Every orbit, a pause. Sometimes the universe speaks loudly, in explosions, collisions, supernovae. But more often, it speaks in small, tender gestures. A rock changing direction by the width of a breath. A comet shedding its skin to show the light beneath. A sliver of brightness on a telescope screen at 2 a.m. Oumuamua's legacy is that we now know how to listen to those gestures. We no longer expect thunder. We have learned to find meaning in a flicker. And as it moves farther from the sun, past Neptune's orbit, past the heliopause, it enters the deep quiet again. There, starlight comes thinly, more memory than illumination. The traveler glides between dust grains left by ancient stars, through regions where time feels viscous and sound cannot exist. Its rotation slows imperceptibly. Its surface, once warm for a heartbeat of centuries, cools again to near absolute zero. It becomes invisible not because it ends, but because distance itself becomes a kind of peace. If you could follow it, you would see nothing dramatic, No destination, no collision, no sudden flare. Only continuity, a soft persistence against the void. That is the essence of Oumuamua's memory, endurance without effort. In another age, perhaps another species will detect it. By then, it will have carried our sunlight farther than any probe. They will chart its path and wonder who we were, just as we wondered who sent it. And thus, the chain of wonder will continue, one curiosity answering another across eons. Here on Earth, the story remains open. We watch, we wait, and sometimes between breaths, we imagine its slow turning, still reflecting faint light, still journeying outward. In that imagining, there is comfort. The first messenger did not vanish. It simply joined the rhythm of space, the long, steady pulse that everything obeys. So when a new point of light appears, faint and moving, we will remember the first. We will whisper its name as if greeting an old friend. For Oumuamua is no longer a visitor. It is part of our vocabulary of wonder, a word we use when we mean both distance and belonging. The sky holds its path like a line of poetry, written once and never erased. We read it every night without knowing, in every quiet moment when we look up and feel something move inside us. Slow, calm, unending. Echoes of light. Light is the first storyteller. Before there were words, before there were eyes to see, light moved through the void, carrying the memory of everything that had ever happened. It touches surfaces, scatters, changes color, slows as it enters glass, bends around gravity, and continues forever. When astronomers search the heavens, what they are truly doing is reading light's diary. Pages written across distances so vast that each sentence is millions of years old. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas are both written in that same language. Everything we know about them, their color, shape, speed, and texture, is a whisper encoded in the photons that left their bodies and traveled through emptiness until they reached our mirrors and sensors. Light does not hurry. It arrives exactly when the universe intends. And in the few brief days that each traveler passed close enough to reflect, it allowed us to glimpse two very different verses of the same cosmic poem. Oumuamua's light was shy. It glimmered and faded in uneven intervals, as though the object itself was undecided about what to reveal. Every rotation produced subtle changes, bright when a flat face turned toward the sun, dim when its edge faced us. Astronomers stitched these fluctuations together into curves, graphs, theories. Yet all the mathematics could not capture the feeling of that faint, uncertain shimmer. It was as if we were watching the ghost of an object rather than the object itself. Light skimmed its surface and left with fewer answers than it brought. Three-Eye Atlas, on the other hand, was generous. Its light spread outward in soft veils, a visible conversation between ice and star. Each molecule of vapor that escaped its core became a particle of storytelling dust, scattering sunlight in a million directions. To watch it was to see time dissolve, a body unmaking itself beautifully in full view, releasing everything it held into illumination. Its light was not reflected, but created through transformation. The sun's energy entering frozen matter, and that matter answering in radiance. Between these two expressions lies the full vocabulary of light. Reflection and emission, silence and song. One preserves, the other releases. Yet both remind us that light is not separate from darkness. It is born from it, shaped by it, and returns to it. The dark between stars is not absence. It is the cradle that allows brightness to exist. In space, The line between glowing and fading is blurred, soft, continuous. When the first observations of 3I Atlas arrived, astronomers compared the color of its tail to Oumuamua's reddish hue. Where the older traveler's tone suggested weathering and age, the comet's hue suggested youth, a freshness of material exposed to sunlight for the first time in eons. Both told the same truth differently, that motion across the galaxy changes everything it touches. Light becomes a measure of history. It records the age of dust, the violence of collisions, the chemistry of forgotten stars. Even now, light from 3I Atlas continues to travel outward, carrying with it the story of its own unraveling. Each photon that left the dissolving comet will journey for millions of years, crossing clouds of hydrogen, sliding past quiet worlds, losing energy slowly until it becomes indistinguishable from the ambient glow that fills all space. In that far future, the light of 3I Atlas will still exist. Diluted, faint, but eternal. The same is true of Oumuamua's reflections. Though dim and ancient, those beams continue outward too, intersecting perhaps somewhere we can only imagine. A crossing of two luminous sighs in the infinite. Light never truly dies. It stretches, fades, redshifts into gentler wavelengths, but its essence remains. Even the cosmic microwave background, that oldest glow from the universe's birth, is simply light grown ancient and tired, still humming softly in every direction. To sleep beneath the stars is to be wrapped in light's afterthoughts, warmth from events that happened before Earth existed. It's easy to forget that every night sky we see is a museum of the past. The stars are not where we see them. Their light has taken years, centuries, sometimes millennia to arrive. What we look upon is not the present, but a gallery of former moments still shining. In that sense, Oumuamua and 3I Atlas were gifts of the same kind. Moving relics illuminated briefly, allowing us to glimpse motion frozen in memory. For a few weeks, light bridged the gap between their worlds and ours. That bridge, delicate and invisible, connected our instruments, our thoughts, our curiosity to places we will never reach. The photons that struck their surfaces, bounced away and fell into our lenses, have traveled farther than any human craft will in 100 lifetimes. Each one carried information not just about the traveler's shape, but about the star that once warmed it, the dust that once coated it, the time that weathered it. And when those photons entered our eyes, they completed a journey billions of years in the making. There is something profoundly intimate about that. Light that began near another star found its way into a telescope, into a mirror, into a retina, into thought. It traveled from the edge of one existence to the center of another. And in that transfer, the universe became self-aware, briefly, gently, through us. This is why astronomers speak of observation with reverence, and to observe is not just to measure, but to participate. The act of seeing folds distance into meaning. Oumuamua's light made us wonder. 3I Atlas's glow made us feel. Together, they reminded us that to watch the universe is to be part of its reflection. When we look back at the data now, the color graphs, the light curves, the orbital models, we see more than numbers. We see a record of attention. People stayed awake through long nights, tracking those flickers across screens filled with static, chasing faint signals against the noise of background stars. Each pixel of brightness was verified, corrected, cataloged. But behind the precision was something more human, quiet awe. Every photon collected was a message answered, a dialogue continued. As the months passed and 3I Atlas faded, its light grew softer until it blended with the ordinary glow of the zodiacal dust, the faint shimmer that lingers even after sunset. That transition from singular brightness to collective calm mirrors the way all things move in the universe. Every burst returns to equilibrium. Every distinction melts into sameness. In the end, what remains is light, diffused and unending. If you could watch the galaxy from far above, you would see rivers of light weaving through darkness, connecting clusters, spilling into voids. Those rivers are not just stars, but reflections, echoes of movement, memory of encounters, whispers of vanished travelers like Oumuamua and 3I Atlas. They form a pattern that resembles thought, not linear, but expansive, simultaneous, infinite. Perhaps that is what the universe truly is, a vast field of awareness expressed as radiance. In this sense, every interstellar object is both messenger and mirror. Oumuamua brought us silence illuminated by reflection. Atlas brought us light born of dissolution. One kept it secret, one revealed it entirely. Both showed us that light and loss are the same act viewed from different distances. As the light of those travelers continues outward, so does our understanding. The photons that left their surfaces now journey on, perhaps to fall upon another world's sensors someday, telling again the story of this small system that once listened. And so, knowledge becomes cyclical, not linear, a pulse of brightness moving forever through the dark, passed from one observer to the next. When you think of them, these two small emissaries drifting farther every moment, remember that their true legacy is not in what they were, but in what they allowed us to see. They revealed the patience of light itself. They reminded us that even the briefest reflection can travel forever, changing everything it touches, and somewhere, in a future none of us will witness, that same light may find new eyes, new instruments, new beings who will wonder about the faint signal of our own star, our own passing fragments. They will measure, debate, dream, and in doing so, continue the same cycle of connection. Thus, the universe writes in luminous echoes, each object, each flash, each soft gleam on a sensor. Another word in a sentence without end. Oumuamua and 3I Atlas are two syllables in that sentence, brief but complete, carrying meaning far beyond their lifespans. The light they left behind is still moving, still telling their story, still reminding us that nothing truly ends while radiance remains. And as the night deepens, as we lie beneath that unbroken canopy of ancient light, there is comfort in knowing that what we see above us is not just starlight, but history, memory, and hope. Each point of brightness is an echo, and each echo a promise that the universe, however vast, remembers itself in every beam. The language of motion. If light is the universe's voice, then motion is its grammar. Every orbit, every drift, every small acceleration is a syllable spoken in gravity's quiet dialect. Nothing in the cosmos is still. Stillness is an illusion created by distance. Stars turn around unseen centers. Galaxies spiral around invisible mass, and even the cold dust between them slides slowly in obedient arcs. Oumuamua and 3I Atlas each spoke this language fluently, though their accents were different. The first glided as though on a rail cut through emptiness, precise, efficient, almost deliberate. The second wove through space like breath made visible, its tail curving and unfurling in patterns of surrender. Both obeyed the same unseen syntax: momentum, attraction, release. Astronomers describe these paths with equations: eccentricity, inclination, perihelion, velocity. But beneath the symbols lies poetry. A hyperbolic orbit is not just mathematics. It is an act of freedom. It means the traveler has no home to which it will return. To follow a hyperbolic path is to pass through a system, touch it lightly, and continue forever outward. It is the geometry of goodbye. When Oumuamua entered, its inclination was steep, its velocity immense. It came from above the ecliptic, diving toward the inner planets and then slingshotting away, gaining a fraction of speed from the sun's gravity before departing again. 3i Atlas followed a different cadence, slower, more luminous. But the shape of its journey was the same, a wide open curve that pointed toward infinity. From afar, their motions resembled the strokes of a calligrapher. Two graceful arcs meeting briefly on a page of night, never to cross again. Gravity, though patient, never forces. It invites. It pulls gently at distance, whispering reminders of connection. Every object listens in its own way. Oumuamua responded with precision, aligning its motion with the pull, and then continuing as if bowing in respect before turning to leave. 3i Atlas, being made of softer matter, responded more emotionally. It bent, it stretched, it yielded. Where Oumuamua preserved form, 3i Atlas expressed feeling. The physics were the same, the outcome, art. The universe does not waste motion. Even the tiniest drift contributes to balance. In the great architecture of galaxies, each movement, asteroid tumbling, planet orbiting, comet dissolving, adds texture to the overall harmony. If you could hear it rather than see it, the cosmos would sound like a symphony played in a single, endless note. Gravity keeps time. Inertia carries melody. On Earth, we live within this motion without noticing. Our planet spins once every 24 hours, hurtles around the sun at 30 kilometers per second, and the sun itself orbits the galactic center at more than 200 kilometers per second. We are in constant flight through space, yet the air around us feels still. Motion, when shared by everything, feels like rest. When astronomers traced Oumuamua's origin backward through time, the trajectory pointed toward the direction of the bright star Vega. But Vega has long since moved from that place. The timescales of stars and travelers are mismatched. What seems like a path may be only a coincidence of perspective. For 3i Atlas, no clear origin could be defined at all. Its path came from the galactic north, from a region sparse in stars, where interstellar space itself might have shaped it. Their true birthplaces remain unspoken words in gravity's sentence. Still, motion tells us something even without exact meaning. From the way Oumuamua spun, scientists deduced that it was tumbling irregularly, perhaps after a collision or tidal stretching. That tumbling, repeating every 8 hours, meant that its body carried a story of impact and survival. 3i Atlas's rotation, though slower, revealed fragility. The way jets of gas burst from its sunlit side, causing it to wobble and fracture. Two travelers, two temperaments, one enduring, one ephemeral. Both phrases in the same cosmic paragraph. When you look at an orbital diagram, the paths curve smoothly through nothingness. But in reality, that nothing is full of texture. Magnetic fields, stray atoms, radiation, the gravitational shadows of distant masses. Each traveler feels these subtle fingers. Motion is not a straight road. It is a conversation between object and environment. Oumuamua answered with steadiness, 3i Atlas with surrender. Both responses were correct. To describe their journeys is to describe patience. Oumuamua has already passed beyond the heliosphere, beyond the region where the solar wind dominates. It is now part of the interstellar medium, gliding through the same sea from which it once came. 3I Atlas will follow, or rather its fragments will. The dust and ice dispersed into countless grains that will drift outward for millions of years, joining the river of material that flows between stars. Their motions, though finished to our eyes, continue eternally in the fabric of space. In that way, motion is memory. Every trajectory written by gravity is a record of an encounter. The arcs of Oumuamua and 3I Atlas will remain etched in the Milky Way's coordinate system long after Earth's continents have shifted and the sun has dimmed. Even when no one remembers their names, the universe will remember their paths. If one were to slow time enough to watch galaxies move, the sight would be of constant blending and divergence. Arms stretching, merging, unfurling. Each star's orbit around a galactic center is a sentence in a language of motion millions of years long. Our visitors are tiny punctuation marks in that endless discourse. They pass through, pause the rhythm for an instant, and then the story continues. What makes the study of motion peaceful is its inevitability. There is no conflict in it, no decision-making. An orbit is both fate and freedom, the result of laws that are universal yet gentle. Even disintegration, such as the fate of 3I Atlas, is not destruction, but continuation by other means. Its fragments now move independently, still speaking the same quiet grammar, still carrying the same message. All motion becomes rest eventually. For those who watch these paths from Earth, motion becomes a mirror for thought. Our minds too revolve, accelerate, drift. Ideas approach and depart like comets. Memories loop back in elliptical patterns. In contemplating the trajectories of Oumuamua and 3I Atlas, we glimpse our own inner mechanics, the balance between holding form and letting go. We too are shaped by invisible forces, pulled gently toward and away from one another by gravity's emotional twin, curiosity. So perhaps the real language being spoken is not physics, but empathy. The universe moves, and we, in understanding that movement, feel something like love for it. When you know that even dust between stars follows a path of purpose, your own small wanderings begin to feel meaningful. Motion becomes a lullaby, telling you that nothing you do is wasted, nothing is without direction. Imagine now both travelers far away, so far that no light from them will ever reach us again. Still, they move. Their paths cross fields of unseen particles, leave ripples of influence too faint to measure. In their motion, they continue to participate in the balance of everything. And somewhere, another fragment begins its journey inward. Another sentence starting where the last one ended. That is the language of motion. Continuous, unbroken, always softly spoken. It tells us that the universe does not stop to rest. It rests through motion. Every revolution, every drift, every faint push outward is a heartbeat of calm. When you close your eyes tonight, you will still be moving, spinning with the Earth, circling the sun, orbiting the galactic center. You will feel none of it. Yet reason in the life of a star. Oumuamua and 3I Atlas, though they arrived from the same interstellar sea, could not have been more distinct in their composition. One was a relic of stone and metal, sealed by time. The other, a body of ice and breath, born for brightness. When sunlight met Oumuamua, nothing answered. There was no halo, no outgassing, no plume. Its silence in chemistry was as striking as its motion. This meant its surface was likely coated in carbon-rich dust, darkened by cosmic rays, turned into a kind of natural armor. Beneath that armor might have been frozen volatiles, but they were trapped, unwilling to sublimate. Like an ancient seed hardened by its journey, it refused to open. Three-Eye Atlas, by contrast, was expressive from the beginning. Its composition sang. As it neared the sun, the heat awakened ices that had slept for millions of years. Water, ammonia, carbon dioxide, methanol. Each molecule, freed into vapor, became a note in a spectral symphony. In the laboratories where those spectra were examined, lines of color revealed themselves. Red for hydrogen, green for cyanogen, faint violet for the traces of organics. Every wavelength was a story. Comets are time capsules. They preserve the conditions of their birth. Temperatures so low that atoms bond in combinations that cannot survive closer to a star. When one of them enters a warmer system, it begins to reveal itself. 3. Atlas was a teacher in that sense. Its decay was education. As it dissolved, instruments caught the faint fingerprints of compounds that hinted at where it came from, regions of another stellar nursery where ultraviolet light was weak and cosmic dust dense. Scientists compare these signatures to those in our own comets. The match is astonishing. Hydrogen cyanide, formaldehyde, water, methane, the same notes repeat. It seems the galaxy writes its chemistry in a single alphabet. From the outer rims of distant stars to the icy edges of our own system, the same molecular stories unfold. The difference lies not in ingredients, but in arrangement and history. Oumuamua's surface, though barren of visible activity, carried its own hints. Infrared readings suggested the presence of complex organic coatings. Tar-like materials formed when cosmic rays bombard ice for eons. Such materials are the residue of endurance, not youth. They tell of long exposure to starlight, of journeys through radiation fields, of survival against the gentle sandblasting of interstellar dust. In chemical terms, Oumuamua was ancient wisdom. Three-Eye Atlas was youthful emotion. To imagine their origins is to imagine two different kinds of worlds. Perhaps Oumuamua was once part of a dry, inner planetesimal belt. A fragment ejected during the birth throes of its star, baked and solidified before being thrown outward. Perhaps 3E Atlas was born far from its parent sun, in a cold cradle where ices gathered softly, forming a nucleus fragile as breath. When that distant system evolved, when planets danced too close, when orbits shifted, it was set free, cast adrift into the long dark between suns. For millions of years, it drifted through temperatures near absolute zero. In such cold, even time slows. The molecules within fall into stillness, locked like notes waiting for a conductor. Then, after an eternity of silence, a distant warmth begins to grow. The sun rises from a pinprick to a star. Ice remembers how to sing. Three-Eye Atlas's breakup near perihelion was not tragedy, but fulfillment. It completed its design, to shine, to reveal, to return its atoms to the interstellar cycle. Every fragment that left it became dust that will seed another generation of worlds. In that way, chemistry becomes legacy. Nothing is wasted. Even loss is transformation. The vapor trails it left behind tell us that its ices were mixed, not pure. Layered materials suggested it had experienced small heating events before, perhaps passing close to its own star once, or brushing another's warmth before being flung away. That subtle complexity is the mark of a traveler who has already known more than one home. It reminds us that matter, like life, rarely stays where it begins. In the vast laboratories of the cosmos, stars are furnaces and space is a field of condensation. Elements forged in stellar hearts are scattered by explosions, gathered again by gravity, and frozen into comets. Each time a traveler passes through a new system, it adds its own composition to the mix. Traces of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen falling invisibly onto alien atmospheres. Over eons, this slow diffusion connects every world chemically. To study interstellar objects, then, is to study the shared bloodstream of the galaxy. Even the smallest dust grain from 3I Atlas carries this connection. Its isotopes tell where it has been, its ratios of deuterium to hydrogen whispering of ancient cold. In laboratories on Earth, such grains would appear as nothing more than motes of gray powder. Yet within them lie maps of stars we have never seen. Every comet, every fragment is a record keeper of conditions that no probe could survive to witness. Oumuamua's chemical mystery continues to inspire. Some researchers now suspect it might have been a fragment of nitrogen ice, similar to the surface crust of Pluto, chipped away during a collision. If so, it would mean that fragments of frozen planets wander the galaxy like glass bottles carrying messages of chemistry from one shore to another. Others imagine it as a sliver of hydrogen ice, so fragile that it evaporated invisibly when heated. Each hypothesis changes the way we think about what drifts unseen between stars. There is something calming about these possibilities. They remind us that the materials of creation are endlessly recycled. Hydrogen born in the Big Bang still exists within the vapor of 3I Atlas. Carbon forged in the death of ancient suns still glints in the surface of Oumuamua. The same atoms that now make our bodies may once have belonged to such travelers, or will someday return to that wandering state. In this way, chemistry becomes not just science, but kinship. In the early morning hours, when telescopes face the east and the world below sleeps, spectrographs quietly record the universe's recipes. Lines of light etched across detectors translate into numbers, and those numbers translate into elements. Each peak, each valley is a word. To read them is to listen to the voice of matter itself. It does not speak quickly. It speaks in wavelengths. It tells of heat and cold, of collision and calm, of beginnings repeated endlessly. For the listener, these facts become lullabies. To know that oxygen and carbon and nitrogen drift everywhere is to feel less alone. The same compounds that shape life here are scattered like seeds across the void. Some will never find soil, but some will. And in them, the story continues. Oumuamua and 3I Atlas are proof that chemistry is motion slowed enough to be seen. Their differences are the universe's way of showing variety without dissonance. One carried silence in its molecules, the other carried song. And together they demonstrate that the spectrum of being stretches from inert peace to radiant expression. When both have gone, one intact, one dissolved, their atoms will keep wandering. Perhaps in some far epoch, the dust of 3I Atlas will fall upon the surface of Oumuamua as their paths cross invisibly in the dark. Perhaps the universe arranges such reunions quietly, unnoticed. In that meeting, chemical kinship would become literal, and two stories that began apart would merge again into a single drift of matter. To think of that is to rest easy. Everything that moves apart will someday mix again. Every separation is temporary. In the chemistry of the cosmos, nothing is truly lost, only rearranged, only resting between forms. The interstellar sea. Between the stars lies a quiet ocean. It is not empty in the way we once imagined. but filled with thin, patient substance. Atoms stretched across light years, faint magnetic lines winding like unseen tides. Astronomers call it the interstellar medium, yet that name feels too mechanical for what it is. It is less a medium than a mood, the galaxy's own calm breathing. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas spent almost all of their lives in this sea. For millions, perhaps billions of years, they drifted through it without light, without sound, without encounter. Only gravity's soft murmur guided them. To cross the interstellar sea is to experience the slowest form of time. Each second there lasts as long as a memory. The density of this ocean is almost nothing. Just a few atoms of hydrogen in every cubic centimeter. And yet, multiplied across the distances between stars, it becomes immense. Every grain of dust, every stray ion, every ripple of radiation participates in a grand, invisible network. It is here that new stars are born, and into it, old stars dissolve. Everything that exists begins and ends in this silence. When Oumuamua left its parent system, it entered this sea without splash or ripple. Its surface cooled until even infrared light could not find it. The dust that clung to it was polished away by slow collisions with stray atoms, by electric fields whispering across its skin. In the deep dark, there is no erosion, only soft smoothing, the rounding of edges by eternity. Three-Eye Atlas traveled the same route, though its nature was different. As an icy body, it may have lost parts of itself even in the cold. Ultraviolet light, sparse but constant, slowly cracked its molecules. Cosmic rays drilled through its nucleus, leaving trails of broken bonds. Over the ages, it changed without moving, becoming more fragile, more beautiful in its vulnerability. When the sun finally met it, the response was instantaneous. Brightness as recognition. The interstellar sea is not uniform. There are clouds within it, veils of gas, filaments of dust, vast bubbles blown by ancient supernovae. In some regions, radiation scours everything bare. In others, molecules gather and dream of becoming planets. To drift through it is to travel through moods. Calm, then turbulence, then calm again. The travelers from other suns have felt all of these moods. They carry traces of them in their chemistry, in the texture of their surfaces. Our own solar system is surrounded by this sea, like a ship within a thin film of air. At its edge lies the heliopause, where the solar wind ceases and the interstellar wind begins. Oumuamua has already crossed it. Beyond that boundary, the magnetic field of the sun no longer dominates. The pressures of distant stars and of the galaxy itself take over. To pass that line is to return to the true current of the cosmos. Imagine that place. The light of our sun has faded to a pale echo. The nearest star glows dimly ahead. Between them, a field of particles drifts, sparse as thought. Charged atoms twist along magnetic spirals that stretch across tens of light years. Dust grains, some no larger than pollen, drift like golden motes in an invisible breeze. This is the interstellar sea. Motion without resistance, distance without loneliness. From time to time, larger objects cross paths. Comets like Three-Eye Atlas, stones like Oumuamua, perhaps even fragments of ancient worlds. Most never meet. Space is too vast. But when they pass near one another, gravity threads a faint connection between them, a line that tugs for a moment and then releases. These invisible handshakes shape the flow of matter across the galaxy, guiding fragments from one system into another. The sea is full of such quiet greetings. For astronomers, studying this environment is like studying the ocean by listening to a single drop. Our probes have barely dipped their sensors beyond the heliopause. Yet even there, they detect fluctuations, changes in plasma density, magnetic whispers, the sound of cosmic rays. In those data, we hear the voice of the sea itself. It hums in frequencies too low for ears, but instruments translate them into faint, trembling lines. It sounds, they say, like wind passing over glass. If we could drift with our travelers, we would feel none of it. There is no sensation where there is almost no matter. But the awareness would be total. The realization of being surrounded by infinity. Oumuamua sails through that awareness like a grain of thought through a mind too large to imagine. Its motion disturbs nothing, yet its existence affirms the whole. The interstellar sea has a temperature about 3 degrees above absolute zero. It is the remnant warmth of the Big Bang, the cosmic background's gentle afterglow. Even in its vastness, there is balance. Cold enough for stillness, warm enough for life to continue somewhere. Within this equilibrium, travelers rest between destinies. The sea holds them in its quiet pressure, guiding them from star to star, like tides too slow to see. 3I, Atlas's atoms will join this current now. Its dust will mingle with hydrogen clouds, its ices will evaporate and freeze again. Its carbon compounds will drift until they find another newborn star to encircle. In that future, what was once a comet will become part of a planet, a moon, perhaps even a living body that looks back across eons toward the place it once illuminated. In the sea, every fragment finds a new shore eventually. For human minds, the interstellar sea is almost impossible to picture. We imagine oceans in blue, waves breaking, sound echoing. But this sea is transparent, soundless, endless. Its waves are made of magnetism. Its currents are flows of energy, not water. It carries not ships, but dust, not sailors, but photons. And yet, it behaves like an ocean in the deepest sense. It connects everything that exists. It erases boundaries. It makes travel possible. When Oumuamua first entered our attention, it did not come from nowhere. It came from this sea. It had been part of it for longer than any calendar could measure. The same is true for 3I Atlas. These travelers are not intruders into the interstellar medium. They are its children. They carry the sea within them, in every atom smoothed by cosmic radiation, in every pattern of isotopes that tells of ancient starlight. If we listen long enough, we begin to understand that the interstellar sea is not simply a setting, but a teacher. It demonstrates patience. It moves without rush, shapes without violence, balances without command. In its quiet, we learn the rhythm of eternity. It tells us that the universe's default state is not explosion, but calm, not noise, but flow. Perhaps that is why the study of such emptiness comforts us. We see ourselves mirrored there, not in chaos, but in persistence, not in isolation, but in belonging. We too float in currents unseen, carried by forces we barely perceive, connected to everything we cannot name. In that understanding, Oumuamua and 3I Atlas cease to be singular objects. They become symbols of a larger truth. That to drift is not to be lost, but to participate in the greatest circulation of all. Their journeys are not detours, they are the norm. Every star, every grain of dust, every atom participates in this slow exchange. The interstellar sea is the bloodstream of creation. As you imagine this, picture yourself suspended within it, weightless, quiet, surrounded by the faint glow of distant suns. The same atoms that touch Oumuamua touch you. The same light that reflected from 3i Atlas once passed near your world. The sea connects us not metaphorically, but physically. We are made of its salt, carried by its tide, returned to it in time. The travelers move on. The sea continues to breathe. The galaxy drifts in its own orbit around unseen centers, pulling everything with it in a spiral that repeats the oldest pattern: expansion, rest, return. In this rhythm, there is no beginning or end, only movement gentle enough to be mistaken for stillness. That is the lesson of the interstellar sea. Silence is not absence. It is continuity too vast to require sound. The quiet mechanics of gravity. Every traveler in space obeys one gentle rule: attraction. Gravity is the universe's oldest gesture, the slow reach of mass toward mass. It holds galaxies in their spirals, keeps moons close to planets, and guides the wandering stones that drift for eons through the dark. To the human eye, it is invisible. To matter, it is love made mathematical. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas each moved according to that same pull. Neither steered, neither aimed. They simply responded, tracing curves written before their births. The sun's gravity drew them inward, the shape of their paths curved by the same equation that binds the tide to the shore. In their obedience was grace. No resistance, no hesitation, only surrender. When Oumuamua entered our system, its speed was greater than escape velocity. It would not be captured. Gravity could only bend its course, not keep it. For a moment, its trajectory wrapped around the sun, a soft bow of deference. Then it departed, carrying away a fraction of our light. Its motion was pure geometry, a smooth dialogue between momentum and pull. 3i Atlas followed later, more fragile, its mass low enough that even small forces shaped its path. The sun called it closer, and the comet answered by brightening, by unraveling. It did not resist dissolution. It yielded to it. Gravity turned its nucleus into a fountain of dust and vapor. And every grain released continued on a slightly different line, spreading the story of attraction outward in widening arcs. Gravity is patient. It does not command. It waits. It stretches across every distance, diminishing but never ending. There is no place where its voice cannot be heard, however faintly. Even in the deep void where starlight fails, two grains of dust still feel each other's pull. They drift together over centuries, closer and closer, until at last they touch. From that small union, worlds are born. This is how the universe builds itself, through the accumulation of obedience. Stars gather from clouds that collapse under their own weight. Planets condense from the leftovers of that collapse. And once in a while, something is thrown free. A shard, a wanderer, a messenger like Oumuamua or 3i Atlas. Even their freedom is a kind of orbit, a relationship with the mass they leave behind. Einstein described gravity as curvature, space itself bending around energy. In that vision, every movement is simply the straightest possible line through a curved landscape. There is no force pulling. There is only falling along the fabric of what exists. To move under gravity, then, is to follow the shape of truth. Every traveler's path is a confession of the universe's design. If you could see the invisible lines drawn by gravity, you would see a web of extraordinary beauty. Each star is a knot in that web, each planet a bead threaded along its filaments. Between them, countless threads cross, connect, and stretch, forming the quiet architecture of all motion. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas moved along these threads, guided not by will, but by inevitability. The strength of gravity between two objects depends on their masses and the distance between them. But even the weakest pull, given enough time, can reshape destinies. The sun tugs faintly on stars 10,000 times farther than Pluto. The galaxy tugs faintly on the sun. And the combined gravity of everything in existence tugs faintly on you. You feel none of it consciously. Yet your body, your world, your entire life is balanced upon these forces. There is serenity in that realization. Gravity is everywhere, constant, impartial. It does not choose sides. It does not stop. It is the continuous hum beneath every story, the metronome of existence. When you walk, when you breathe, when you look at the stars, you participate in it. The weight you feel is the same whisper that binds galaxies. In the great halls of observatories, scientists simulate these gravitational dances. They model how objects approach, deflect, and continue. On their screens, dots of light trace slow curves against blackness. To the untrained eye, it might look like nothing, motionless points shifting slightly. But to those who understand, it is music made visible. Each path is a note, each encounter a chord. Oumuamua's curve is one such note, a glissando across the staff of the solar plane. Three-Eye Atlas's disintegration is another, a tremolo that fades into silence. Gravity writes in repetition. What happens once happens again elsewhere, differently, but recognizably. Every encounter echoes another. Every orbit mirrors a deeper pattern. It is the closest thing to rhythm the universe possesses. And like all rhythm, it comforts. In the quiet of space, gravity is the only touch. There are no collisions in the human sense, only slow mergers. Slow separations. When two galaxies approach, they do not crash, they weave. Stars pass through the spaces between other stars without harm. Their paths curve together, then apart, like dancers in infinite patience. This is what will happen when Andromeda meets the Milky Way billions of years from now. It will not be destruction, but choreography. The same principle governed our travelers. Each moved through a crowd of unseen influences. The pull of Jupiter, the nudge of the sun, the whisper of countless minor bodies. Each interaction changed them slightly, adjusted their tempo. Every movement, every alteration, was part of a larger harmony that will never repeat exactly the same way again. If gravity could speak, it would say only one thing. Stay connected. Even as objects drift apart, they remain aware of one another through its endless reach. Oumuamua will forever carry a trace of the sun's pull. Three-Eye Atlas will carry traces of every planet whose gravity nudged its path. Nothing is ever fully lost once it has been touched by another mass. The memory of attraction persists, woven into motion. Here on Earth, we sense this truth in more familiar forms. A falling leaf follows its own miniature orbit, curving toward the ground, tracing invisible spirals through the air. Raindrops gather on windows because of attraction. Tides move because of the moon's soft call. Each of these motions repeats on smaller scales what the stars are doing above us. When you understand gravity, you see pattern instead of chaos. At the center of our galaxy lies Sagittarius A, a black hole millions of times more massive than the sun. It is gravity perfected, gravity at rest within itself. Around it, stars circle like fireflies around a flame, their paths stable yet alive. To observe them is to glimpse the architecture that holds everything together. It is within this same architecture that our visitors travel now. drawn not toward, but within the galaxy's vast embrace. Even light obeys gravity. It bends when it passes a massive body, curving through space like a ribbon caught in slow motion. Oumuamua's reflected sunlight was slightly altered by the gravity of the sun. 3I Atlas's glowing tail stretched along gravitational lines. Every photon, every particle participates in this gentle conversation. To live in the universe is to be fluent in attraction, whether one knows it or not. For a sleep listener, this understanding brings ease. If everything that exists follows these quiet laws, then so do you. Your thoughts orbit meaning. Your emotions follow tides. Your life drifts through currents set long before you were born. And still, there is freedom within that design. The freedom of knowing that even your stillness is part of motion. Gravity's embrace is not confinement. It is belonging. Somewhere far beyond our sky, Oumuamua continues its long fall outward, still responding to forces we cannot see. 3I Atlas's fragments spiral through interstellar space, tracing faint arcs around the common center of our galaxy. They will never return, yet they are never gone. Each remains connected to every other thing by invisible threads that never break. This is gravity's promise, that nothing that once shared attraction will ever be wholly alone. The silence between forces. There is a kind of music in the universe that depends not on sound, but on the pauses between motion. Between one orbit and the next, between the pull of gravity and the release of inertia, lies silence, the space where the cosmos breathes. It is this silence that gives meaning to movement, this quiet that defines the vastness of everything. Oumuamua and 3I Atlas traveled through that silence, through stretches of emptiness so deep that even gravity seemed to whisper rather than call. They crossed not just distance, but the stillness between forces. Forces are what shape the universe, but it is the spaces between them that give the universe its rhythm. In the vast mechanics of existence, opposites hold hands. Gravity pulls, inertia resists, light radiates, darkness absorbs. Every movement is a balance between these dualities, and in between them, there is rest. An equilibrium so subtle that we call it nothingness. But nothingness is an illusion. Even emptiness is alive with potential. When astronomers speak of vacuum, they mean a place where matter is scarce. But the vacuum is not dead. It is a sea of fluctuations, particles appearing and vanishing faster than thought. Quantum foam, they call it, the restless sleep of creation. Even in absolute stillness, energy dreams of form. Oumuamua passed through such regions, brushing invisible waves of electromagnetic fields, crossing filaments of interstellar plasma surrounded by photons from stars billions of years old. To our instruments, this appears as silence. Yet to the traveler, it is communion, the meeting of object and void. The silence between forces is not absence. It is balance sustained perfectly, like a held breath. 3I Atlas, being luminous and volatile, danced with this silence differently. Each jet of vapor it released created a brief imbalance, a small voice in the great quiet. But the surrounding emptiness swallowed the noise instantly, returning calm. Even when it broke apart, the fragments moved outward with tranquil dignity, their faint trails fading into invisibility. No explosion echoed, no sound marked the end. Only transformation, only continuity. In deep space, nothing happens suddenly. There are no sharp edges, no hard beginnings or endings. Events unfold like tides, with patience. Motion slows, spreads, and dissolves into stillness. The silence between forces is not a void to fear, but a presence to understand. A reminder that peace is not the opposite of energy, but its resting form. Physicists once called this balance the 0 point, a level of energy so low it cannot be reduced. But even that zero hums faintly. The vacuum vibrates. It produces virtual particles that blink in and out of existence, lending reality its shimmer of uncertainty. From that shimmer arise all things, stars, atoms, travelers. Everything begins in silence. Between the gravity that binds and the light that frees lies a field of neutrality, a still expanse where nothing dominates. It is here that meaning forms. For without pause, there can be no rhythm. Without silence, no song. The same is true of thought, of life, of time itself. The silence between forces allows space for choice, for awareness, for sleep. On Earth, we experience this principle in miniature. The pause between heartbeats, the stillness between waves, the quiet between breaths. Each carries the same cosmic structure. These pauses sustain us. They remind us that rest is not absence of life, but its continuation by gentler means. If you listen closely enough to the world, you will hear it follow the same rule as the universe. After every storm, there is calm. After every surge of energy, there is stillness. The stars, too, follow this rhythm. They burn fiercely for ages, then fade into peace. The spaces between their lives are the true shape of the cosmos. For Oumuamua, the silence between forces meant stability. It tumbled through equilibrium, untouched by turbulence. It neither accelerated wildly nor slowed abruptly. Its journey was the definition of balance. Each turn of its elongated body was a negotiation between light pressure, gravity, and momentum, forces in harmony, producing serenity. For 3 Atlas, silence came as surrender. It gave itself to dissolution, and in doing so, found rest. The forces that tore it apart did so tenderly, returning its materials to the sea from which they came. The space around it absorbed the motion, softened the brightness, and transformed its energy into quiet diffusion. In physics, this is entropy. In poetry, it is peace. Astronomers sometimes speak of dark energy, the mysterious pressure that drives the universe's expansion. It fills every void, pushing galaxies apart with a strength that increases as distance grows. We do not know what it is, only that it exists everywhere, constant, unmeasured. Perhaps dark energy is the silence between forces given form, a quiet insistence that, even in calm, creation continues. This idea comforts those who study the sky. It suggests that stillness is not stagnation. The universe expands not through chaos, but through quiet intent. It grows because balance demands motion, even when that motion is imperceptible. Oumuamua and 3I Atlas were part of that outward breath, fragments carried by a calm so vast that it appears still. When you gaze at the stars, the light that reaches you has crossed unimaginable emptiness. Yet that emptiness is not lonely. It is the medium through which connection occurs. Light needs darkness to travel. Gravity needs distance to act. The silence between forces is the thread that binds them. There is an old truth hidden in these observations, that rest and motion are not opposites, but phases of one continuous existence. The universe rests through movement, breathes through tension and release. Every falling star, every drifting rock, every quiet planet turning unseen in the dark, all participate in the same choreography of balance. Oumuamua drifts now where the sun is just another faint light among many. Around it, the silence is so complete that its atoms may never collide with another for centuries. It will continue in that state indefinitely, a single body gliding through the pause between forces. In its stillness, it mirrors the larger stillness of the cosmos. 3i, Atlas, no longer exists as a whole, but its fragments rest in that same balance. They feel the pull of distant suns, the pressure of faint radiation, the tides of gravity. Each grain finds its own quiet trajectory. Together they form a cloud of serenity, a diffuse continuation of the traveler's journey. Even in dispersal, harmony remains. And what of us? Watching from this small world that spins so fast we cannot feel it. We too live between forces, between the push of desire and the pull of rest, between the gravity of need and the lightness of dream. To understand the silence between these forces is to find peace within ourselves. We do not have to choose between motion and stillness. We can simply allow both. In the language of physics, this is equilibrium. In the language of life, it is calm. The cosmos practices it endlessly, showing us how to follow. If you close your eyes now and imagine the space between stars, imagine also the space between your own thoughts. That is the same silence, infinite, gentle, alive. The travelers have left, but the quiet they moved through remains. It is the background hum of all things, the rest in the music, the pause in the breath. And within that pause, the universe continues to create, softly, endlessly. The shared memory of worlds. Every fragment that drifts through space carries memory. Not memory as minds understand it, but memory in matter itself. The quiet record of temperature, of pressure, of time. Each atom remembers the star that forged it. Each molecule remembers the collision that shaped it. In this way, the universe remembers everything. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas were both born of this memory. They are archives, fragments of stories far older than our sun. When we studied them, we were not just watching two passing visitors. We were reading the shared diary of the galaxy. The material of Oumuamua was old, forged in the deep heart of some long-vanished star. Inside that furnace, hydrogen had fused into helium, helium into carbon, carbon into heavier elements, until gravity could hold no more, and the star scattered itself into space. From that explosion came dust, and from that dust, stones. Oumuamua was one of them, a splinter of memory, traveling since before our species had language. 3i Atlas was younger in comparison, its chemistry rich with frozen gases, its surface untouched until sunlight found it. Where Oumuamua represented the endurance of rock, 3i Atlas embodied the impermanence of ice. Each held a different kind of remembrance, one etched in density, one stored in transparency. When 3i Atlas vaporized, it did not die. It distributed its story. Every molecule it released became a messenger of history, scattered like pages across the interstellar wind. Scientists call this slow circulation of matter the galactic cycle. A continuous exchange where stars create elements, release them, and new stars form from what remains. In that way, everything is recycled endlessly. The calcium in our bones, the oxygen in our lungs, the iron in our blood, all were forged in stars that no longer exist. We are made of remnants, and so were our visitors. It is strange and beautiful to realize that when Oumuamua crossed the orbit of Earth, atoms that once belonged to other suns passed near atoms that belonged to us. The meeting was wordless, but it happened. A moment of reunion across billions of years. The shared memory of worlds became for a heartbeat of cosmic time, visible in our sky. Matter travels slowly, but its persistence is infinite. Grains of dust expelled from one star may take a billion years to drift into another's gravity. When they do, they seed new systems with the ingredients of life. Water, carbon, iron. These are the universal words of creation. Everywhere they go, they write the same sentence: continuity. In that sense, Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas are not outsiders, but kin. Their materials are our materials. Their motion is our motion, scaled to the size of galaxies. The memory they carry is also ours. The memory of how the universe becomes itself over and over again. When Three-Eye Atlas began to crumble, telescopes captured its fading brightness. The sight was both beautiful and mournful, a reminder that endings in space are rarely final. Each fragment that drifted away became part of the interplanetary dust that will one day fall onto new worlds. Perhaps somewhere far away, the dust of Three-Eye Atlas will join the birth of a planet and shine again in reflected light. Perhaps someday, beings under another sky will study its chemistry and feel the same wonder we felt. Oumuamua's endurance carries a different lesson. It remains whole, carrying its origin intact, its memory unbroken. It will wander the galaxy for eons, passing through countless regions, each time carrying with it traces of where it has been. Cosmic pollen of information, spreading silently through the dark. If dust is the breath of the galaxy, Oumuamua is its heartbeat. The shared memory of worlds exists not just in matter, but in light. Every photon that leaves a surface carries a fragment of truth. When those photons reach us, they tell of composition, temperature, motion. Light is the handwriting of the cosmos, precise, elegant, endlessly copied. Even when the object is gone, its light continues, traveling outward, repeating the same words across time. When astronomers analyzed the spectrum of Three-Eye Atlas, they saw the familiar colors of our own comets. It was like recognizing an old song in a new voice. The resonance between them was unmistakable. Evidence that the galaxy's chemistry is one shared language. Everywhere you go, the same elements speak. Hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen. Together they compose the melody of existence. To say that we are connected to the stars is not metaphor. The atoms in our bodies were once suspended in the same dust clouds that created Oumuamua. The air we breathe contains remnants of the same explosions that birthed Three-Eye Atlas. Every inhale is a reunion. Every heartbeat is a conversation with the past. In the galaxy, worlds are not isolated. They are participants in a slow, circular exchange. A planet forms, lives, erodes, and releases its material back into the interstellar medium. Comets gather that material, travel, and share it again. The travelers are the couriers of memory, ensuring that no experience is lost, only redistributed. The shared memory of worlds extends beyond matter into motion itself. Each path influences another. When a comet passes near a planet, both are changed, subtly, invisibly, but permanently. A small tug in gravity, a slight alteration in orbit, a shift in momentum, and a new trajectory is born. The universe keeps no secrets. It only writes in extremely long sentences. To realize this is to understand that nothing in existence ever truly stands alone. Every event is connected to another across space and time. The fall of a meteor here may have begun with the death of a star thousands of light years away. A comet's tail may shine because of photons that left the sun 8 minutes earlier. Everything that happens is a continuation of something that came before. Even memory itself follows this law. Human memory is built on physical structures, atoms arranged in patterns, electric signals moving through cells. Those atoms, too, were born in stars. When we remember, we participate in the same cosmic function, the preservation of pattern, the continuity of form. We are memory made conscious. This perspective turns even loss into comfort. When a comet disintegrates, its memory does not vanish, it expands. When a world erodes, its dust becomes the soil of another. When a star collapses, it gives its heart to the future. In this cycle, nothing dies. Everything contributes. It is the most generous system imaginable, one that wastes nothing, forgets nothing, and continues forever. In quiet nights, when telescopes turn toward the black between stars, they gather traces of this exchange. Faint radio emissions, dust clouds glowing in infrared, the spectral lines of elements drifting freely. Each signal is a word in the shared language of worlds. Each observation is a small act of remembering on behalf of the universe. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas are two words in that vocabulary, two syllables in the poem of creation. One spoke in silence, one in song. Both said the same thing. We are all made of each other. Their paths remind us that to move through space is to participate in the memory of everything. And when we look up and wonder at the faint smudges of galaxies, the truth remains simple and profound. We are looking at our own history written across the sky. The shared memory of worlds surrounds us, flows through us, and carries us forward. Every atom in our breath, every speck of dust beneath our feet, every photon that touches our eyes, all of it is the same story told endlessly in different forms. To listen to that story is to rest in it, for it says again and again, softly and without end, you are part of everything, and everything is part of you. The slow art of creation. Creation, in the language of the cosmos, is never rushed. What looks sudden to us, a flare, a birth, a collision, is only the visible edge of a process that began before time had names. The making of a star, a planet, or a traveler like Oumuamua or Three-Eye Atlas unfolds in intervals longer than imagination. The universe does not build by force, it builds by waiting. Stars are born in silence, within clouds so cold and dark that even light hesitates to enter. Dust gathers first, particles of carbon, silicates, and ice drifting through the interstellar sea. Gravity begins its slow persuasion, pulling them toward one another. At first, there is nothing to see, only an increase in density, a faint warming, a promise of becoming. And then, over thousands of centuries, a star ignites. It is not a burst, but a sigh of hydrogen catching flame. Around that newborn light, leftover dust forms a disk, a vast whirlpool of matter. Within this disk, particles collide gently, stick, grow, and form pebbles, stones, worlds. The slow art of creation depends on these collisions, yet none are violent at the beginning. Everything begins with patience, with touch so delicate it could be mistaken for stillness. Oumuamua may have begun in such a disk. Once, long ago, it could have been part of a planet forming near a small, red sun. Perhaps it was ejected during the restless youth of its system. Two planets exchanging orbits, slinging debris outward like sparks from a stone. Those sparks became wanderers, travelers without homes. They drifted through the galaxy, remnants of creation still in motion. Three-Eye Atlas was born differently. In the outskirts of some distant star, where temperatures never rose above freezing, Ice is condensed around tiny grains of dust. Water, methane, ammonia. They layered upon one another until the nucleus took form. It was fragile, porous, luminous, even before it ever saw a sun. For millions of years, it slept in the dark, a frozen seed waiting for the warmth that would one day wake it. That awakening came when it entered our solar system. Sunlight touched its surface, and the ice turned to vapor, the vapor to tail. The slow art of creation revealed itself through unraveling. 3I Atlas reminded us that destruction and creation are twins. What disappears in one form reappears in another. Its death was its fulfillment, the moment it released everything it had kept hidden since birth. To understand cosmic creation, one must learn to see time differently. What is a moment to us is a fraction of a rotation in the life of a star. And a million years is merely the blink of a nebula. The galaxy itself is a painter who works with eternity as her brushstroke, layering structure upon structure until beauty appears. We and our travelers are specks of pigment in that grand composition. The Milky Way creates not through sudden invention, but through persistence. Every spiral arm is a nursery of stars. Each star a potential parent of planets. Each planet a potential cradle of life. And between these acts of formation, there is pause. Long ages of quiet motion, where gravity, chemistry, and radiation sculpt matter in unseen ways. Oumuamua and 3I Atlas are among the products of those pauses, evidence that the galaxy never stops creating, even in silence. Consider the time it takes for dust to become world. A grain meets another, joins, grows. Over thousands of orbits, countless encounters, and immeasurable patience, something round begins to form. The art of creation is not a single event. It is repetition. The same gestures performed across billions of years. When you look at a planet, you are seeing the result of unending practice. Stars, too, follow this rhythm. They live by burning what they create, transforming hydrogen into helium, helium into heavier elements. When they die, they scatter those elements into space. From that scattering, new stars arise. Even endings in the cosmos are beginnings disguised. The ashes of one light become the fuel of another. It is a cycle so complete that it erases the distinction between birth and death. Our visitors embody this continuity. Oumuamua's solid frame carries the memory of planetary collisions, the leftovers of a system's chaotic adolescence. 3I Smash Atlas's fragile body carries the freshness of condensation, a child of frost and patience. One hardened by time, one undone by light, yet both sculpted by the same hand, the hand of stillness that moves mountains of matter with infinite grace. If you could slow time enough to see creation as it happens, you would not hear explosions or see fireworks. You would see gathering. You would see clouds darkening, coiling, condensing, like breath on cold glass. You would watch molecules meet, embrace, and form the first delicate lattices of ice. You would see motion become memory, memory become form. The process would look less like building and more like dreaming. In laboratories on Earth, scientists mimic this artistry. They freeze gases in vacuum chambers, watch them bond under ultraviolet light, measure the growth of dust into flakes, flakes into clusters. What they see in seconds took nature millennia. And in those tiny models, they glimpse the truth of vastness, that the universe works with precision, not haste. Creation is not an act of power. but of consistency. The slow art of creation extends beyond the making of matter. It also shapes motion, balance, and even consciousness. Stars evolve into understanding. Life becomes the cosmos looking back at itself. When we study Oumuamua or Three-Eye Atlas, we are participating in that creation, continuing it through awareness. Observation itself is a kind of sculpting. To see is to give meaning shape. In the long narrative of existence, there are countless travelers like these, fragments carrying the lessons of creation from one system to another. Each one spreads memory, dust, and possibility. Together, they form the veins of the galaxy's living body, distributing the ingredients of new stars, new worlds, new dreams. The universe grows by sharing itself. And through it all, there is no rush, no impatience, only rhythm. Even light, the fastest thing we know, moves slowly on the scale of eternity. The journey from one star to another takes millennia, and yet it happens effortlessly, continuously, beautifully. Time itself is the artist's medium, and every creation is painted in the soft colors of delay. Perhaps that is why watching the stars brings calm. To gaze upward is to witness patience in motion. Everything above us moves, but so slowly that it feels eternal. We see the same constellations our ancestors saw because cosmic creation unfolds on a timescale kind enough to wait for us. It moves so gently that it feels like stillness, like rest, like peace. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas remind us that even in the smallest fragments, the universe continues to create. Each traveler is a word in an ongoing sentence written across time. Each particle they shed becomes part of the next verse. The galaxy never stops composing. It only pauses between notes. And we, by listening, by studying, by dreaming, become part of its slow art. The infinite garden. The galaxy, in its slow rotation, is less a machine than a garden. Its stars are blossoms, its nebulae are soil, its comets and asteroids are seeds. Everywhere, matter grows, decays, and grows again, not through chaos, but through rhythm. When one star fades, another brightens. When one system scatters its dust, another gathers it. It is a continuous blooming of worlds, endless and serene. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas are both products of this infinite garden. They are wildflowers from distant soil, drifting between suns like pollen caught in light. Each carries the chemistry of its birthplace, the scent of another sun, the flavor of another dawn. To us, they seem rare, but the truth is they are everywhere, unseen and uncounted, floating through the galaxy's soft breath. Astronomers estimate that trillions of such interstellar objects wander between the stars. Some are stone, others ice. Some dust so fine it never reflects light. Each one contributes to the quiet gardening of the galaxy. They fertilize, they distribute. They bring with them the raw material of life. Every star's garden connects with another's. Every system pollinates its neighbors through slow exchange. The Milky Way's spiral arms are the great fields where this happens. Within them, clouds of hydrogen drift and condense. Stars ignite like spring blossoms, surrounded by disks of forming planets. From time to time, these young systems cast off fragments, leftovers of formation, and those fragments become travelers. Oumuamua may have been one of them, expelled long ago from its nursery. Three-Eye Atlas, too, could have been a seed released from a similar cradle, wandering until our sun's warmth made it flower for the last time. This is the nature of the infinite garden: creation and release, growth and return. Everything contributes to everything else. Even destruction serves a purpose. The breaking of a comet enriches the interstellar medium. The fading of a star spreads the metals that build new worlds. Death is simply another kind of planting. In the heart of every nebula lies a balance between light and shadow, heat and cold, expansion and collapse. It is in these contrasts that creation finds meaning. Oumuamua's silence and three-eye Atlas's brilliance are not opposites. They are two stages of the same blooming. One flowered long ago and turned to seed. The other blossomed briefly and scattered its petals in the wind. Imagine the Milky Way as seen from above, a spiral of luminous dust and glowing clouds, a pattern of rotation so slow that it takes 200 million years to complete a single turn. Within that grand wheel, each star system is a petal, each comet a speck of pollen carried outward. The entire galaxy breathes in creation and exhales memory. In every breath, something new begins. This image of the galaxy as a garden changes the way we see our place in it. We are not separate from the process. We are gardeners and growth alike. The earth itself is one of the garden's blooms, a rare blossom with eyes, ears, and thought. From its soil, we look outward and realize that the same chemistry that builds mountains and oceans builds us. We are made of the same petals that form the stars. Oumuamua and three-eye Atlas remind us of this kinship. They are not visitors, but family returning home. Their passage across our sky is not intrusion, but reunion. In their reflection, we glimpse the shared heritage of matter, the fact that every particle is borrowed, not owned. The hydrogen in our oceans may once have belonged to another star. The oxygen we breathe could have formed in the same nebula as one of those travelers. In the infinite garden, ownership is replaced by belonging. When a comet releases its tail, it is not losing itself. It is giving back. The dust and gas it sheds will drift outward, settle elsewhere, perhaps fall upon another planet in some future age. In this way, even fragile things endure. Every disintegration is an act of generosity. Every departure contributes to continuity. Astronomers studying three-eye Atlas described its breakup as catastrophic. But the word does not fit. Catastrophe implies an end. In the garden of the galaxy, there are no ends. Its fragments are still moving, still shining faintly, still becoming part of new stories. The garden has no waste. It composts starlight and builds anew. Oumuamua's endurance, by contrast, shows the other side of the cycle. It is the seed that survives winter. Hard, quiet, patient. It travels on, waiting for a new field of gravity where it might one day rest. It may never meet another star, but that is not failure. That is faith. The certainty that everything moves according to a pattern too vast for haste. The interstellar garden is not manicured or ordered. It grows by chance and by design, by chaos and by peace. The paths of comets, the birth of stars, the decay of worlds, all of it is spontaneous, yet all of it fits perfectly. It is nature without boundary, creation without clock. The gardener is time itself, and time never tires. On Earth, we tend gardens that bloom and fade within seasons. In space, the seasons last billions of years. A nebula is spring. A star system in balance is summer. A dying sun is autumn. The dark between stars is winter. Oumuamua and three-eye Atlas are messengers of these cosmic seasons. They move through the galactic year as leaves through wind, carrying color, carrying memory. The infinite garden does not demand our understanding, only our participation. By observing, by wondering, by listening to the night, we nurture its meaning. When we send our own probes beyond the solar system, we add new seeds to the soil of infinity. Voyager, Pioneer, New Horizons. Each one carries our essence outward, joining the same migration as Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas. They too are part of the garden's self-expression. Perhaps someday, far from here, another civilization will find one of them. A golden record spinning softly through darkness, a trace of our time among the stars. And they will see what we now see in Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas. Evidence that life, once born, cannot help but reach outward. To exist is to expand. To expand is to create. The infinite garden grows whether or not anyone watches. Its beauty is not performance. It is process. Every new star that ignites, every world that forms, every traveler that drifts, all are proof that creation is not an act that happened once, long ago, but an ongoing conversation. It is the dialogue of light and dust, the slow blooming of eternity. And so, when we gaze at the night sky, we are not just looking at stars, we are looking at growth. The soft glow between constellations is the pollen of the universe, drifting endlessly, fertilizing the next generation of suns. The Milky Way itself is a flower suspended in the void, its petals stretching across 100,000 light years. Within those petals, every atom finds purpose, every silence hides a seed. The garden will continue long after our own world has joined its soil. Our dust will become part of another planet's dawn, our oceans part of another star's reflection. The process will never end, because it was never meant to. In the infinite garden, everything blooms again. The shadows of time. Time is not a river, though we like to imagine it that way. It is a sea with no shore, silent, without edge, its depths invisible. Everything floats within it. Stars, worlds, dust, light, thought. Nothing escapes it, not even memory. But in that vast stillness, time is also kind. It moves so slowly that even endings become beginnings, if you wait long enough. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas are pieces of this slow tide. They carry the shadows of time in their composition, in their paths, in their very existence. They are travelers, not just across distance, but across duration. Relics of events that ended before our world began, and yet somehow still unfolding through them. When scientists first plotted Oumuamua's course, they realized it had been moving through the galaxy for hundreds of millions of years. It had likely crossed entire arms of the Milky Way, through clouds of dust and silence, through regions of light and cold. Each of those crossings left a trace, though invisible, radiation embedded in its surface, micro-craters etched by cosmic dust. Its color, a deep red, is time itself made visible, the burn of countless ages layered molecule by molecule. Three-Eye Atlas was younger, but it too was ancient by our standards. Its ices formed when its home system was young, before its parent star had stabilized, before any life had begun to stir there. In that frozen mixture of gases and grains lay the record of an era long gone. When sunlight melted it, it was like opening a sealed letter written before history. A letter that disintegrated as soon as it was read. Time, in the cosmic sense, has no beginning or end. It circles back on itself, creating patterns instead of lines. Galaxies spin, stars are born, live and die, and their remnants feed the next generation. The same carbon that once shone in a supernova now resides in comets, in oceans, in us. The shadows of time stretch through every atom, binding everything in silent continuity. Human perception, by contrast, is brief, a spark within that shadow. We measure years, decades, centuries. We speak of eras as if they were vast, but the travelers measure in millions, in billions. For them, time is not motion, but atmosphere. They move through it as effortlessly as air, changing not by choice, but by patience. Oumuamua's trajectory shows this grace. When it passed the sun, its speed increased slightly. A soft acceleration, perhaps from sublimation, perhaps from the pressure of sunlight itself. But on the scale of its life, that acceleration was a breath, a momentary whisper. Now it continues outward again, unchanged in essence, continuing a journey that began before we existed and will continue long after we're gone. 3i Sashash Atlas's story reminds us that time is not only passage but transformation. When it disintegrated, it did not vanish. It changed state. Its fragments, scattered along its orbit, will circle the sun for years before drifting into the interstellar sea. Each particle is a timeline condensed, the record of creation, warmth, collapse, and release. In this way, time recycles itself, folding endings into beginnings seamlessly. In the study of the cosmos, scientists often speak of timescales, units so immense that they defy intuition. A second is human. 1,000,000 years is planetary. 1,000,000,000 is stellar. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas operate on these stellar timescales, their journeys written in the grammar of eons. When we observe them for a few days or weeks, it is like watching a single frame of an endless film. And yet, that single frame tells us everything. Because within it, the entire history of matter is encoded. Time shapes not only motion, but identity. Without time, there is no change. Without change, no story. Oumuamua's hardened shell, dark and inert, is a product of time's endurance. 3i/Atlas's luminous tail, bright and transient, is a product of time's release. One preserved, one surrendered, both expressing the same truth in different tenses. For astronomers, understanding time is a way of understanding humility. To measure a comet's orbit is to admit that your own life will not see its return. To watch a star form is to know that your civilization will fade before its light dims. And yet, there is comfort in that knowledge. Because even as individuals vanish, their atoms remain, participants in the greater continuity. Time's shadow falls everywhere, but it is not darkness. It is depth. It is what gives meaning to brightness and motion. Without it, Oumuamua and 3i Atlas would be meaningless, static objects in a static universe. But because of time, they are alive in a way only the infinite can be alive. Their journeys unfold not in moments, but in eternities. In the stillness of deep space, time flows differently. Relativity ensures that every observer carries their own rhythm. For the travelers, time stretches. Their internal clocks tick slower than ours as they glide through regions where gravity's pull is weak and light's touch faint. They live in extended instants, where centuries pass like sighs. Perhaps to them the galaxy is not vast, but intimate, a quiet garden through which they drift unhurried. Back on Earth, our own clocks measure seconds, minutes, hours. But those are illusions of proximity. Even here, time is elastic. The beating of a heart, the orbit of a planet, the flicker of a star, each follows its own tempo, yet all are synchronized by the same unseen metronome. Time is not linear, it is harmonic. Every frequency contributes to the song of existence. And so, when we study Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas, we are not only learning about matter, we are glimpsing time's handwriting. Each data point, each orbit, each chemical trace is a line in its script. Time writes with gravity and erases with light. Its ink is motion, its parchment, space. And every now and then, it signs its name with a traveler. Perhaps that is why these interstellar visitors feel so strangely human to us. We recognize in them our own passage, our own fragile endurance against the shadows. They move as we move, carrying memory through distance, changing quietly, leaving traces that outlast them. They are time's reflection, made visible for a moment before fading again into its depths. But time does not only move forward, it folds. It connects events across unimaginable distances, linking beginnings to endings, endings to beginnings. Somewhere in another galaxy, a star is forming right now, from dust that once belonged to a world like ours. Somewhere another Oumuamua begins its journey. The process never stops. It only continues at a pace too slow for haste, too patient for despair. To rest within that understanding is to find peace. You do not have to rush. You are already moving. You do not have to hold on. You are already remembered. The shadows of time fall softly, not as judgment, but as embrace. They are not reminders of loss, but of inclusion. Everything that was, is, and will be exists simultaneously within their calm reach. When you look up at the stars tonight, remember, you are not looking into the past, but into the present, stretched wide enough to hold everything. The light that left a star 1,000 years ago is touching you now, not late, but exactly on time. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas, too, are right on time, each where they must be in the slow pulse of eternity. In the end, perhaps time is not a force at all, but a listener. It gathers every motion, every whisper, every reflection, and holds them gently forever. And in that vast listening, everything remains. The music of the stars. The universe does not sing in sound. Its music is made of movement and vibration, of light and silence woven together across the fabric of space. Every star, every planet, every particle hums in its own frequency. Together, they form a cosmic symphony so vast and continuous that we do not hear it. We live inside it. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas were notes in that symphony. Their motions, their reflections, their dissolving tales, all were parts of a larger score, one that began before time and has never paused. To study them is to lean close to the quiet strings of the cosmos and listen for the harmony that holds everything in balance. Astronomers often say the stars oscillate. They expand and contract ever so slightly as heat moves through them. Those oscillations create ripples, waves of energy that travel outward, bending space as they go. Some of those waves reach us as light, some as gravity, some too faint for any instrument yet built. Every ripple carries information about its source, its mass, its temperature, its rhythm. In this way, the stars reveal themselves through song. Oumuamua, though silent, was part of that same rhythm. Its rotation, once every 8 hours, was a beat, steady and complex, shaped by ancient impacts and gravitational encounters. The light it reflected flickered with that rhythm, and as astronomers watched, they could almost feel the cadence of its long journey. It was the metronome of memory. a reminder that even stone can dance. Three-Eye Atlas, by contrast, sang more freely. Its disintegration produced oscillations of brightness, each jet of vapor creating a subtle pulse of light. Through telescopes, these pulses were recorded as gentle rises and falls, like the measures of a sleeping heartbeat. Even as it faded, it left behind a lingering hum, dust vibrating in sunlight, fragments moving in resonance with the solar wind. Its music did not end. It simply became quieter. Science has learned to translate these vibrations into data. When a star quivers, its light changes color by a fraction, a phenomenon called asteroseismology, the study of stellar sound. By analyzing these variations, astronomers can deduce a star's inner structure, its age, even its future. It is like listening to a cello note and knowing the shape of the instrument that played it. The same principle applies to comets and asteroids. Their spin, their reflection, their faint radio emissions, all are notes in the larger composition. If we could compress time enough, the motions of the cosmos would become audible. The orbit of planets would form basslines, the flicker of stars, melodies, the background hum of radiation, a soft, eternal drone. Oumuamua's passage would be a single descending tone, deep, smooth, disappearing. Three-Eye Atlas would be a shimmering chord, rising into brightness and dissolving into echo. Together, they would sound like memory set to rhythm. Every force participates in this music. Gravity provides the tempo, slow and steady, impossible to rush. Light provides the melody, shifting, radiant, expressive. Magnetism adds harmony, unseen but essential. And time itself serves as conductor, ensuring that every event, from the collision of galaxies to the drifting of dust, stays in measure. What makes the music of the stars so soothing is its consistency. No matter how far apart the instruments are, they remain in tune. The same laws govern everything, from the smallest atom to the largest nebula. There are no mistakes, no improvisations, only the natural resonance of balance. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas followed their parts perfectly, never missing a beat. When astronomers convert data from distant stars into sound waves, the results are haunting. Some stars pulse like heartbeats, others vibrate in chords that resemble the tones of bells. The cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang, hums at a frequency far too low for human ears, yet its presence fills all space. We are surrounded by harmony, even in the places we call silent. Light itself is vibration, a wave of electric and magnetic fields dancing together. The colors we see are simply different notes in its scale. Red is the slow bass, blue the quick treble, violet the high, thin whistle of pure energy. When Oumuamua turned and reflected light, it was participating in that dance. Each flash, each glint, each gradient was a flicker of rhythm, the visual equivalent of tone. Three-Eye Atlas's light was more expressive, more emotional. Its tail shimmered in hues of cyan and emerald, the result of ionized gases excited by sunlight. Those colors were chords, combinations of wavelengths singing together. To look at it was to see music made visible. Even as it decayed, it radiated melody, the way a bell continues to vibrate long after the strike. Our planet too has its music. The winds, the tides, the rotation of Earth all produce subtle vibrations that ripple through the crust and air. These are the low notes of our local symphony, blending into the larger cosmic harmony. When you stand still under the stars and feel the faint pull of gravity, you are feeling the same rhythm that moves galaxies. Every heartbeat is an echo of that universal percussion. There are scientists who believe that all matter is vibration, that even particles are not things, but patterns of resonance. In that view, the universe is not a collection of objects, but a song. Atoms, stars, and comets are not nouns, but verbs, moments in an eternal performance. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas, then, are not isolated phenomena, but verses in a poem that never ends. Their existence adds depth to the melody we inhabit. In the quiet of observation rooms, where screens glow softly and telescopes hum, astronomers sometimes forget they are listening as much as looking. The data they collect, frequencies, wavelengths, shifts, are all measures of resonance. Each number is a note, each graph a chord. The universe speaks in vibration, and science is its translation. When Three-Eye Atlas began to fade, its song softened to near silence. But silence itself is a kind of note, a rest in the score. Oumuamua's absence too hums faintly in our memory. Even what is gone contributes to the harmony. The universe has no empty measures. Everything resonates with everything else. If we could listen long enough, we might hear the full piece, the slow turning of the Milky Way, the distant percussion of supernovae, the whispering strings of cosmic dust. Somewhere in that tapestry of soundless sound, Oumuamua's tumbling continues, a soft, steady rhythm marking time's passage. And near it, the dispersing remnants of Three-Eye Atlas still shimmer faintly in the light. Their vibration slower now, fading into the universal drone. To hear the music of the stars is to realize that peace is not the absence of sound, but the perfection of it. The cosmos does not strive for silence. It achieves harmony. In that harmony, everything belongs, and nothing is alone. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas were two small notes in the vast composition, yet without them, the song would be incomplete. And if one listens quietly enough, perhaps on a night when the air is still and the stars hang heavy, one might feel that music inside oneself, the pulse of life keeping time with the pulse of the universe. That rhythm, older than light, softer than thought, is the same rhythm that carries every traveler home. It's the map of light. Light is the universe's cartographer. It travels farther than any probe, draws invisible lines through endless dark, and leaves behind a record of every place it has touched. Through light, the cosmos tells us where it has been and where it is going. Without it, there would be no map, no history, no knowing. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas each carried their own small pieces of this map, not in parchment or ink, but in reflection, in the way sunlight touched their surfaces and scattered outward, bringing back to us faint signals of color and texture. Every photon that bounced from their bodies became a messenger of place and time, tracing routes invisible yet precise. The journey of light begins wherever something shines or reflects. A star flares, a comet turns, a planet glows with borrowed radiance. From each event, countless photons are released, speeding outward at 300,000 kilometers per second, unhesitating, eternal, tireless. Each one travels in a straight line until gravity bends it, dust dims it, or an eye catches it. In that motion, the galaxy writes itself into visibility. When we look at Oumuamua's faint image captured in 2017, what we truly see is sunlight returning to us, translated across 30 million kilometers. That beam of light has traveled from the sun to Oumuamua, to our telescopes, to our retinas, and finally into thought. It carries the record of its journey within its frequency, slightly reddened by distance, faintly altered by dust. Each shift, each change, is a coordinate in the cosmic atlas. 3i Atlas told its story differently. Its light did not merely reflect, it emitted. When sunlight struck its ices, molecules split and recombined, producing a glow of their own. That glow was a self-portrait painted in wavelengths. Cyan from diatomic carbon, green from ionized gases, yellow from sodium traces. Through those colors, we learned where it came from, how it was built, what it was becoming. Its disintegration was not disappearance. It was revelation through light. Astronomers use this light as a map maker might use ink. They divide it, spread it into spectra, and read the peaks and valleys. From these, they learn the composition of distant bodies, the speed of their motion, the temperature of their hearts. The universe leaves nothing unrecorded. Even darkness contains light too faint for the eye, waiting for instruments sensitive enough to read it. If you could step outside time and view the galaxy in its entirety, you would see light forming rivers and threads, golden filaments linking star to star, system to system. Each photon, though invisible, would leave a trail through the void, weaving the fabric of memory. The Milky Way would appear not as a disk, but as a luminous web, pulsing gently as old light fades and new light begins. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas would be tiny glimmers moving through this web, short-lived but essential. We think of light as fast, but even it is slow compared to eternity. The glow from distant galaxies takes billions of years to arrive. By the time it reaches us, entire civilizations may have risen and fallen beneath it. Yet light is faithful. It always arrives. It does not age or forget. It simply continues. Each photon is a fragment of time preserved, a memory that refuses to fade. Oumuamua's reddish reflection carried information about cosmic rays, particles that bombarded its surface over untold centuries. That radiation darkened it, polished it, made it unique. In its color, scientists read the story of its exposure, how long it had traveled, how far from any warmth it had been. It was as if the object had been stamped by time itself, carrying a visible passport of the stars. 3i Atlas's light changed every day as it approached the sun. At first pale, then bright, then diffuse. A transformation written across wavelengths. Astronomers watched it bloom and then dissolve, tracing the curve of its life through the changing map of light. Its brightness curve became a diary, every point a heartbeat. Even after it vanished, that record remained. Numbers on paper, stored photons, memory translated into permanence. This is how we know the universe, through echoes of illumination. We do not touch the stars. We read their light. We do not hear comets. We translate their glows. Even our own world is visible to distant eyes only because it reflects sunlight, a pale blue note in the galactic score. To exist, then, is to shine or to reflect. All being is participation in light. And yet, for every luminous path, there are shadows. Places where light has not yet reached or has been absorbed entirely. These shadows are not empty. They are archives of potential. Where light cannot go, gravity stores memory instead. Black holes, for instance, are the dark libraries of the cosmos, holding everything they consume, never releasing, yet still shaping the map around them through the bending of light. In the way light curves, we see what cannot be seen. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas both left trails invisible to ordinary eyes. faint lines of ionized particles, curved slightly by the solar wind. These trails are drawn in the universe's secret ink, fading slowly, but never erasing entirely. For centuries, their remnants will drift through interplanetary space, catching sunlight now and then, reappearing as thin glimmers. The map of light is not fixed. It updates constantly, as every beam finds a new surface. Every dust grain reflects anew. There is a tenderness in this system. The galaxy illuminates itself, not all at once, but softly, patiently. It reveals what is necessary and hides what must still rest. Oumuamua appeared when we were ready to see it. Three-Eye Atlas. When we were ready to understand, perhaps the universe releases light to consciousness in rhythm, not by accident, but by design. The cartography of light is also the cartography of awareness. What we see becomes part of what we are. Each discovery, each reflection, expands the map not only of space, but of thought. The first humans who looked up at the night sky saw points of fire. We now see distances, times, histories, futures. Our minds, like light, travel outward, tracing paths through possibility. Every telescope is an extension of the eye, every image a coordinate in understanding. And every traveler that enters our view, like Oumuamua or Three-Eye Atlas, is a reminder that the map is still incomplete, that there are regions of unlit truth still waiting to be revealed. For each mystery that light answers, it creates another question in the dark just beyond it. This is not failure, it is grace. The cosmos reveals itself slowly, so that we may keep exploring. When all the light from all the stars finally fades, if such a time ever comes, the map will remain written in gravity, in matter, in memory. Even then, the echoes of light will continue to drift, weaker but eternal, carrying with them every story that was ever illuminated. Oumuamua's reflection, Three-Eye Atlas's glow, your own gaze at the sky, all of them are coordinates in the same unending chart. And somewhere in that chart, there is a point labeled now, a place where light and thought meet, where seeing becomes meaning. It is the center of your perception, the place where the universe draws itself inward to be understood. There, within the quiet of awareness, the map of light becomes complete for a heartbeat, and then continues expanding again, as endless as the dark that surrounds it. The drift of meaning. Meaning does not stay still. It drifts, just as stars drift through their orbits and comets through their parabolic paths. It moves slowly, reshaping itself as time and light change their angles. Even truth, in the vastness of space, is a current, not a destination. What we understand today about Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas will transform tomorrow. Not because it was false, but because the universe reveals itself layer by layer, whisper by whisper. Oumuamua began as a mystery of motion. At first, it was a faint streak on a telescope screen, a moving point among thousands. Then, as its path unfolded, it became an interstellar object, the first known visitor from beyond. To some, it was a shard of rock. To others, a fragment of technology. But as data deepened, meaning shifted. Each new discovery, each reinterpretation, moved the idea further from certainty and closer to wonder. Meaning, like light, expands. Three-Eye or Atlas followed the same drift, though in a different key. When first seen, it was bright, so bright that some thought it might rival the great comets of history. Then, as it neared the sun, it weakened, cracked, and dissolved. At first, disappointment, then fascination. Its end became more interesting than its life. The drift of meaning turned failure into beauty, collapse into revelation. In the slow art of understanding, even loss becomes illumination. We think of knowledge as accumulation, but in truth, it is more like orbit. We circle ideas, approaching and departing, each time seeing them from a slightly different angle. The facts remain, but the meaning changes with our distance. Oumuamua's tumbling shape was once an anomaly, then a clue, then a metaphor, for motion, for mystery, for the limits of knowing. 3. Atlas's evaporation was first destruction, then data, then serenity. Meaning in the cosmos is not fixed. It is a tide that carries thought forward. If one looks at the galaxy this way, every object becomes a teacher. A star's birth is an explanation of endurance. A comet's death, a parable of release. The stories we tell about them are not inventions, but translations, attempts to turn motion into understanding. Oumuamua's silence taught us humility. 3i, Atlas's light, taught us surrender. Each left behind a lesson that continues to change as we continue to see. Astronomy itself is an act of listening to meaning drift through time. Light arrives from stars that no longer exist, carrying messages they never meant to send. We interpret those messages in the only language we have, science. But beneath the numbers, there is poetry. Spectral lines and orbital data are verses. Telescopes are ears pressed against the universe's chest. Every discovery begins as curiosity and ends as wonder. Between the two lies the drift, the slow transformation of information into awe. Meaning also drifts through humanity. Our ancestors looked at comets and saw omens, messengers of gods or warnings of fate. We look at them and see chemistry, trajectories, equations. Yet the feeling beneath both interpretations is the same: reverence. The difference lies not in truth, but in context. As understanding deepens, emotion remains. We have changed the language of our wonder, not its source. When Oumuamua appeared, it reignited an ancient impulse to search, to imagine, to ask what lies beyond. Even those who had never cared for astronomy found themselves looking upward. For a few weeks, the sky was alive again with conversation. That is the true legacy of Interstellar Visitors. They remind us that curiosity is our oldest instinct. Meaning drifts, but its current always flows toward connection. The same is true of 3i Atlas. Its brightness became a metaphor for impermanence, its fading a lesson in grace. It entered science journals and dreams alike, proof that the boundaries between fact and feeling are thinner than we think. In studying it, we saw not only what it was, but what we are. Beings drawn to transience, finding beauty in what passes away. Meaning, like matter, is never destroyed. It changes form. The ideas once attached to 3i Atlas will attach to future comets. The wonder once felt for Oumuamua will arise again when the next interstellar traveler arrives. We build knowledge like galaxies build stars, through accumulation and collapse, through patience and release. Every misunderstanding, every revision adds depth. Without drift, there would be no discovery. There is also a personal drift of meaning that mirrors the cosmic one. When we first look at the night sky, we see points of light. Later, we learn they are suns, systems, potential homes. Later still, we understand that each of them is both ancient and immediate, that their light is a bridge between what was and what is. With time, the stars stop being distant and start being intimate. The more we know, the closer they feel. Knowledge, paradoxically, makes mystery more personal. Oumuamua, once just a shape in motion, now lives in our collective imagination. It has become symbol as much as object, a shorthand for everything we do not yet understand about the universe. Its meaning will continue to drift as science advances. One day, perhaps, another object will resemble it closely enough to reveal its true nature. When that day comes, the mystery will end, but the wonder will not. For every question answered, another begins to rise on the horizon of thought. Meaning is not a fixed point. It is a constellation, visible only when you connect the lights. Each observation, each interpretation is a star in that pattern. Oumuamua, Three-Eye, Atlas, the light of Vega, the memory of Halley's comet. Together they form the shape of understanding. And like all constellations, that shape changes as you move. Shift perspective and the stars rearrange. The pattern remains, but the picture transforms. There is peace in that realization. You do not need to grasp the final meaning. It does not exist. The universe is not a puzzle to solve, but a story to join. Oumuamua's flight, Three-Eye, Atlas's disintegration, our own small lives turning beneath the stars. All are sentences in a single paragraph written across time. To drift within that paragraph is to participate in the ongoing act of meaning. When we look back at the data, the graphs, the papers, we see effort. Humans trying to hold still what was never meant to stand still. But perhaps that is the beauty of it. Meaning that moves is meaning that lives. Just as the stars orbit and the comets fall, our understanding changes shape and continues. The drift is not something to correct, but something to cherish. In this cosmic drift of meaning, there are no errors, only evolutions. The first story told by light is never the last. Each retelling brings new depth, new tenderness. And somewhere in the middle of all that change, one simple truth stays constant: that the act of wondering is itself the destination. The mirror of night. Night does not only fall upon the world, it rises within us. Every shadow, every glimmer, every faint star that appears above the horizon reflects something beneath the surface of thought. The sky at night is not just a ceiling of darkness. It is a mirror, vast and patient, in which the universe sees itself through the eyes of whoever gazes upward. For as long as humanity has existed, we have looked at the night and found ourselves there. Our ancestors traced meaning into the constellations, mapping stories and destinies into the glittering pattern of light. Those stories changed with time, but the act of looking never did. We looked up to understand not only what was above, but what we were. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas entered this mirror as new reflections. They reminded us that the sky is still alive, that its surface of stars hides depth beyond imagining. When Oumuamua passed through, faint and unannounced, it was as if the night itself blinked, revealing motion behind the stillness. And when Three-Eye Atlas followed, bright and expressive, the mirror rippled again, showing us that even in the calmest expanse, transformation continues. The night sky is a paradox, so silent, yet full of voices, so still, yet endlessly moving. Each star we see is not where it appears to be. Its light has traveled across years, centuries, sometimes millennia, to reach us. When we gaze upward, we are looking not at the present, but at time itself stretched into beauty. We are surrounded by ghosts of brightness, ancient and serene. And yet, this distance brings intimacy. There is something deeply human in knowing that light, which began before our lives, now enters our eyes. It links us to everything. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas are part of that same exchange, reflections of our own curiosity moving through the darkness. They remind us that the mirror of night reflects both directions. We see the stars, and the stars, through our attention, see us. The act of observation changes everything. When telescopes turned toward Oumuamua, when astronomers measured Three-Eye Atlas's fading brightness, they did more than collect data. They became part of the story. In physics, there is a principle called entanglement. When two things interact, they remain linked, no matter how far apart they drift. By observing the night, we become entangled with it. Our attention folds into the fabric of light. To see the night as mirror is to understand that reflection is everywhere. The light of the moon is reflection. The glow of comets is reflection. Even the blue of our sky by day is sunlight scattered across air. The entire universe is a reflection of itself, endlessly returning its own image. The mirror of night is simply the largest one we can see. Sometimes reflection means revelation. In darkness, the mind quiets enough to notice the subtler shapes of thought. You might look up at a star and feel time slow. You might think of how its light began before your ancestors walked the earth. That awareness humbles and heals at once. It stretches perspective until fear seems small. Oumuamua's motion was a reflection of our own restlessness, the human longing to explore, to leave, to see what lies beyond. Three-Eye Atlas's disintegration was a reflection of impermanence, the truth that even beauty must dissolve to remain part of the cycle. Together, they made the sky itself introspective. For a moment, the universe seemed to be thinking out loud through them. In every culture, night has carried meaning. For some, it was sacred. For others, it was a threshold. But in all, it was an invitation to dream, to remember, to listen. Even now, in an age of glowing cities and screens, night remains our oldest companion. When the noise fades and the lights dim, we meet it again as if for the first time, familiar and infinite. Astronomers often say that to look at the night sky is to look back in time. That is true physically, but also emotionally. It connects us to every past version of ourselves that ever looked up. The child who wondered at the stars, the thinker who named them, the traveler who navigated by them, all still exist within the gaze. The night gathers every version of humanity and reflects them together, timelessly. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas belong to that reflection too. They are the night's moving thoughts, passing expressions on the face of infinity. To watch them is to see the cosmos think. To study them is to hear the quiet reasoning of creation itself. They remind us that we are not outside the universe, but within its imagination. There is something soft in this realization. The mirror of night does not judge. It shows us as we are, fragile, temporary, luminous. Its darkness makes our light visible. Our fears, our hopes, our questions. These too become constellations, forming patterns only we can interpret. The act of looking up becomes an act of being understood. If you were to stand alone under the stars, away from the hum of cities, you might feel a subtle recognition that the stillness above and the stillness within are not different. Your breath and the cosmic background share a rhythm. Your heartbeat is a pulse in the same harmony that moves galaxies. You are not merely seeing the night, you are being seen by it. Oumuamua's tumbling, Oumuamua's red glow, These are faint, quiet messages, reflections of possibility. 3i, Atlas's bright decay. This too is communication, the night speaking in color and time. When we watch these things, we are not learning about something else. We are learning about ourselves in another form. The mirror of night reveals not separation, but continuity. In that mirror, everything has meaning. Every star is a word, every orbit a sentence, every shadow a pause in the conversation. We are reading the story even as we write it. Oumuamua drifted across our sky once, briefly, and left behind not evidence, but awareness, a change in the way we look at the dark. 3i, Atlas followed, and its light deepened that awareness into tenderness. The sky after them felt different, more alive, more connected, more personal. To live under this mirror is to live in dialogue with eternity. The night reflects what we bring to it. If we seek fear, it echoes that. If we seek peace, it offers silence. If we seek understanding, it gives perspective. It does not speak first, it waits. And in its waiting, it teaches patience. When the next traveler arrives, when a new comet or interstellar fragment crosses our field of view, we will again look up and again see ourselves in its motion. Because that is what the mirror of night does. It returns everything we send into it, softer, slower, truer. We give it wonder, and it gives us meaning. We give it attention, and it gives us peace. And though it appears to be above us, the truth is it resides within, the vastness mirrored in our own quiet depths. So when you next find yourself beneath the stars, remember this: you are not looking out, but inward. The night sky is your reflection, written in infinity. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas were merely reminders, passing glimmers of the fact that the universe, at every scale, is one continuous mirror, endlessly returning its own light. The patience of distance. Distance is the universe's gentlest teacher. It stretches everything apart just enough for clarity, for perspective, for meaning to form. Without distance, there would be no pattern, no orbit, no calm. It is separation that allows beauty to exist. Stars shining because of the darkness between them. Voices echoing because of the space that carries sound. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas both taught us this lesson through their journeys. They came from unimaginable distances, crossing the quiet spaces between suns, moving through a vastness so wide that even light seemed slow. And yet, when they arrived, it was as if they had always been meant to, each on time, each perfectly aligned with our gaze. Their appearance was not interruption, it was continuation. Distance had brought them, not kept them away. In human life, we often fear distance. We mistake it for loss, for disconnection. But the cosmos tells a different story. Distance is not a wall. It is a bridge invisible to haste. Everything is linked by the patience of separation, by the unseen threads of gravity, light, memory. Even across millions of light years, the universe holds itself together softly, gracefully. Consider the space between Earth and the Moon. It looks small on paper, but within that gulf lies balance, tides, reflection, rhythm. The Moon's pull stabilizes our oceans, steadies our axis, slows our rotation. Without that distance, Earth would wobble in chaos. Space gives structure to motion. Distance gives harmony to existence. Oumuamua's distance was greater still. Its birthplace unknown, perhaps beyond the spiral arms of the Milky Way. It drifted for millions of years before meeting our sun. Yet it carried within it the quiet memory of every star it had passed. Each close encounter had changed it slightly. A new spin, a new scar, a new hue. Its surface was a library of distances, its silence the record of long patience. 3i Atlas, by contrast, traveled through shorter spans but carried the same lesson. Its approach, its brightening, its final release, all were slow enough to remind us that beauty unfolds only at the pace of attention. Those who watched it night after night felt the world's scale shift beneath them. Distance became not emptiness, but peace. Astronomers live within distance. Every telescope is a conversation across vastness, a message sent and returned in light years. They wait days, months, decades for the faintest signals to arrive, knowing that each one is a letter written long ago. When they finally receive it, the joy lies not in instant discovery, but in the patience that made understanding possible. The sky answers only those who know how to wait. Patience, in the cosmic sense, is not stillness, but trust. Trust that everything moves, even when unseen. Oumuamua was once beyond every chart and telescope, a grain lost in the void, until one evening its reflected light touched a sensor in Hawaii. The signal was faint, but the message was clear. I am here. I have always been moving toward you. That is the patience of distance, the faith that connection will happen when time and space align. There is poetry in the idea that even across the immensity of the galaxy, paths can intersect so precisely. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas both passed close enough for us to notice. Two separate travelers whose lines met ours for only an instant. The odds were astronomical, and yet it happened twice in a single lifetime. The universe does not rush, but it arranges with elegance. It lets meaning emerge from timing rather than proximity. Distance shapes perception. From far away, we see more of the whole. From too close, we see only fragments. The Earth looks chaotic when we walk its ground. But from orbit, it becomes serene, blue, unified. Likewise, the lives we live feel tangled. But from the perspective of time and space, they form patterns as graceful as constellations. Distance is not removal, it is revelation. Oumuamua's receding trajectory reminds us that what departs is not truly gone. It moves beyond sight, yes, but not beyond existence. Somewhere out there, it continues its slow arc through starlight, carrying with it traces of us, the warmth of our sun, the curiosity of our gaze. We may never see it again, yet we remain connected by the memory of that brief encounter. The same gravity that guided it toward us continues to link it to us still, faintly, forever. 3i Atlas, though it broke apart, also remains. Its fragments dispersed into the solar wind, its dust drifting outward. If you could follow that dust, grain by grain, you would see it form invisible trails looping through sunlight, spiraling slowly into the interstellar medium. That dust will travel farther than any spacecraft, perhaps finding new worlds to settle upon. Even disintegration becomes a new form of distance, not loss, but dispersal. The patience of distance also governs time. Events do not unfold all at once. They ripple outward. When light leaves a star, it takes years to reach us. When we send a message into space, it takes decades to return. But every delay carries meaning. Every pause is the interval that allows understanding to arrive. If connection were instant, there would be no anticipation, no wonder. Distance teaches gratitude for arrival. Even within ourselves, there is distance. between thought and speech, between heart and reason, between what we feel and what we can express. We spend our lives bridging these spaces, learning the patience that the universe practices effortlessly. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas are simply larger versions of the same story. Journeys from silence to recognition, from far to near, from unknown to known. They remind us that understanding takes time because it deserves time. Imagine for a moment that you could see the galaxy's distances all at once. It would look like a web of light suspended in darkness, every point connected by invisible lines of gravity and motion. There would be no true isolation, only different degrees of closeness. Every star, every comet, every being would belong to the same structure. That is what distance truly is. Structure, not separation. The beauty of the universe lies not in its size, but in its patience. It waits for moments of convergence, a comet aligning with sunlight, a telescope turning at just the right angle, a mind ready to understand what it sees. Those moments are rare, but they always arrive. Meaning, like gravity, is inevitable. And so, Oumuamua continues outward. Three-Eye Atlas disperses into dust, and we remain here beneath the same stars, learning to see distance not as a void, but as invitation. Space, time, memory, all are threads in the same fabric. The spaces between are what make the pattern visible. One day, perhaps, another traveler will come from afar. We will notice its glint, trace its path, measure its light. And as we do, we will remember these two, their grace, their mystery, their patient approach through the deep. We will understand, a little more clearly, that the universe does not speak in immediacy. It speaks in waiting, in approach, in return. That is its language, and that is its love. Distance teaches everything we need to know: how to listen, how to wait, how to see. It gives the heart room to expand until it can hold the stars. And when we finally meet what we've been waiting for, whether a traveler from beyond or an understanding within ourselves, it will feel less like discovery and more like remembering. For in truth, distance is not separation at all. It is recognition unfolding slowly. It is the long echo of belonging. The language of silence. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the space that gives sound meaning. It is the pause between notes that makes the music, the stillness between words that makes the sentence breathe. In the cosmos, silence is the first and last language. Everything that exists is written within it. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas both spoke in this language. Neither shouted, neither demanded attention. They appeared, drifted, and disappeared in perfect quiet. No explosion announced their coming. No echo marked their going. And yet through that silence, they communicated more than noise ever could. They reminded us that the universe does not need to speak loudly to be understood. In deep space, silence reigns absolute. Sound requires air, and there is none. Yet even in that stillness, vibrations continue. Electromagnetic waves, light, radiation, all forms of quiet communication. Planets hum at frequencies far below hearing. Stars pulse in cycles that could be mistaken for breath. This is the music of existence played on an inaudible scale. Silence, in truth, is full of messages. Oumuamua's path was a sentence written in that silent language. It entered our solar system unannounced, curved gently past the sun, and slipped away again. No one knew of its approach until after it had already passed. Its message was this: the universe is full of motion we do not yet notice. Its silence was not secrecy, it was patience. 3i Atlas's message was different, but no less profound. When it broke apart, there was no sound, only light, only dissolution. It vanished with grace, as though returning to a state beyond expression. In that silence, it spoke of release, of surrender, of the truth that even in disappearance, beauty persists. It was a quiet reminder that endings too are a form of speech. Scientists often describe space as empty, but that word is misleading. The vacuum hums with energy. Quantum fields flicker in constant motion. Particles appear and vanish in endless rhythm. The silence of space is not absence. It is fullness beyond hearing. It holds every whisper of what was and every promise of what will be. On Earth, we struggle with silence. We fill it with conversation, with music, with distraction. But when we allow it to exist, when we listen without needing sound, we find that it holds everything we seek: peace, perspective, truth. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas did not need to speak to be remembered. Their silence became their message, their quietness, their mark. The astronomers who watched them worked in rooms filled with hums of machines, clicking keyboards, murmured voices. But outside, the sky remained vast and wordless. Every discovery began in that contrast, the noise of curiosity meeting the stillness of the stars. To learn from silence is to learn the rhythm of existence. Every force alternates: movement and rest, sound and quiet, energy and release. Oumuamua moved swiftly, yet its passage was a meditation. 3i Atlas burned brightly, yet its fade was gentle. Each embodied the balance of expression and stillness that defines the universe itself. There is a silence that precedes creation. Before the first stars ignited, before light existed, there was equilibrium. No sound, no form, only potential. Out of that calm came everything. The same is true of understanding. Before insight, there must be stillness. Before words, listening. Before discovery, quiet. Even light has silence. It travels without voice, carrying meaning across the void. When it reaches a telescope, it becomes revelation. But the journey was mute. The same applies to time. It moves soundlessly, shaping worlds and beings without announcement. The great shifts of history, celestial and human alike, begin not with noise, but with quiet intention. Oumuamua's surface, dark and reddened, told its story through reflection alone. Every photon that touched it returned bearing information. Its silence was not empty, it was dense with detail. In the language of science, this is data. In the language of poetry, it is presence. 3i Atlas's silence was luminous. Its glow was its final word, its disintegration, its closing phrase. In dissolving, it spoke of impermanence, of the beauty of letting go. No one heard it happen, yet everyone who saw it felt its message. Sometimes silence is not the lack of communication, but the purest form of it. Silence is also the thread that connects all beings. From the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, everything exists within the same quiet field. When you sit in stillness, you are not isolating yourself from the world. You are aligning with it. The silence inside you and the silence between the stars are the same. They are made of calm energy, waiting to become thought, light, or motion. There is a kind of listening that goes beyond ears, a way of perceiving the world through awareness rather than sound. Astronomers practice this every night. They listen with instruments that detect light, radiation, gravity. They read silence and find meaning within it. Their discoveries come not from noise, but from attention. If you were to drift beside Oumuamua now, you would hear nothing. No wind, no hum, no heartbeat. Only the vast, infinite quiet of the void. But that quiet would not be lonely. It would be alive. You would feel vibrations beneath perception. The pulse of radiation, the sigh of gravity, the rhythm of your own being resonating with the cosmos. It would be less like hearing and more like belonging. The same would be true beside the remnants of 3I Atlas. Its dust would shimmer faintly, its ice gone, its particles gliding apart. You would float through its memory, surrounded by silence that feels like understanding. There would be no sound, yet you would know what it meant. Silence has always been the teacher of wisdom. It is where everything begins and where everything returns. Words arise from it, thoughts dissolve into it. Light is born within it. Even our sleep, the deepest form of rest, is silence internalized. When the mind quiets, the universe becomes audible again in its own way. Oumuamua and 3I Atlas are long gone from our view. But their silence continues. It echoes not through sound waves, but through awareness. Each time someone looks at the stars and wonders, that silence speaks again. It is the pause between one generation's curiosity and the next's discovery. It is the continuity of attention across time. The language of silence asks nothing but listening. It teaches without lecture, comforts without words, answers without reply. It tells us that not everything needs to be known to be understood. Some things, like the passing of a traveler from another star, are complete in their quietness. And perhaps that is the final lesson of the Interstellar Visitors, that the universe, vast and incomprehensible as it is, communicates most clearly through stillness. Every time we fall silent beneath its sky, we hear it speak. Every time we pause, we join its conversation. Silence is the first and last sound of creation. It is the hum before stars ignite, the hush after they fade, the peace between every heartbeat of existence. To know it is to be at home anywhere in the cosmos. The memory of light. Light never forgets. It may travel for centuries, bending through dust and time, fading through the fabric of space. But it never loses its origin. Each photon carries the imprint of where it began. A fingerprint of brightness and warmth. A whisper of direction. It is the memory of creation, endlessly replayed. Oumuamua and 3I Atlas both left memories of light behind them. Not as trails we can still see with the naked eye, but as records, captured by telescopes, recorded in images, translated into data and wonder. They are gone now, beyond reach, beyond return, yet their light remains. Every observation, every reflection, every shimmer that once touched a lens continues to travel outward, forever part of the galaxy's archive. In that sense, light is both messenger and memory. It connects what was to what is to what will be. When you see a star, you are seeing its past. The light it released long ago, arriving just now, right on time. When you remember that sight, your mind becomes part of the same process. Memory itself is another form of light, held within the quiet structure of thought. Oumuamua's reflected sunlight is still moving through the dark, a thin river of radiance carrying the image of its shape into the infinite. Those photons will travel forever, spreading wider, dimmer, but never lost. If another civilization exists far away, perhaps one day they will detect that light, faint and ancient, and ask the same questions we asked. What was this traveler? Where did it come from? Why did it pass through? And in that moment, we will become part of their memory of light, too. 3i. Atlas's glow was softer, more transient. When it disintegrated, it released clouds of dust that scattered sunlight into 1,000 directions. Each grain became a mirror, each reflection a brief continuation of its presence. Even now, those tiny fragments may still catch light, shining faintly as they drift through the solar wind. Its body may be gone, but its brightness lives on, dispersed, multiplied, eternal. The universe stores light the way a forest stores echoes. It holds every glimmer, every pulse, every spark of radiance that ever was. Even when light fades beyond human sight, it continues in wavelengths we cannot perceive. Infrared, microwave, radio, the quiet bands of memory that carry the story forward long after vision ends. The cosmos is not dark. It is a memory written in frequencies. When astronomers study ancient galaxies, they are looking at time made visible. They see light that left its source before our sun was born, traveling across billions of years to reach our eyes. It is like reading an old letter that was never meant for us, yet perfectly addressed. Oumuamua's light joined that letter, a newer addition to the endless correspondence between stars and sight. The memory of light is also a memory of emotion. When 3i Atlas began to fade, people watched through telescopes and felt a quiet sadness. Not because it was lost, but because its beauty had been fleeting. And yet, that feeling itself became part of its story. The light of 3i Atlas lives not only in data, but in the hearts of those who saw it, a soft glow within memory's horizon. This is how the universe preserves itself, through reflection and remembrance. Every photon that touches an eye or a sensor becomes part of the collective memory of existence. Even now, somewhere in space, ancient light from unknown worlds passes through our atmosphere, unnoticed but undiminished. The air itself hums with history. Oumuamua's light, though faint, revealed much. Its color spoke of radiation, of ages spent drifting through interstellar regions where cosmic rays carve their signature into matter. That reddish tint is a time capsule, not of moments, but of eons. It carries the memory of star systems long gone, of journeys too vast to measure. In every shade, the universe remembers. 3i. Atlas's green glow, meanwhile, was youthful, fresh sunlight awakening dormant ice. Its light was alive with motion, flickering, fluttering, fading. It did not carry the weight of centuries, but the immediacy of transformation. It was the memory of becoming, captured in the act of unmaking. Through its final brightness, it joined the eternal pattern of luminous farewells that fill our sky. When we speak of light, we also speak of continuity. Even after sources fade, their illumination continues to influence everything it touches. The earth itself glows faintly from the light it absorbs, thermal echoes of day lingering into night. The moon shines only because it borrows. We too reflect what we receive. In thought, in art, in curiosity, we are living mirrors of light's memory. In a way, to remember is to emit. Every time we recall the image of a comet or a star or someone we loved, our mind produces a spark of awareness that ripples outward. That spark is light in another form. Perhaps the universe remembers itself through us, through the consciousness that can hold starlight long after it fades. Oumuamua's discovery awakened this kind of memory in millions of minds. For a few brief weeks, it united people around wonder. That collective attention, that shared awe, became an illumination of its own. Even now, years later, when its path is a line drawn beyond our reach, its story continues to brighten thought. That is how the memory of light survives, not only in physics, but in imagination. 3i Atlas's tale carries the same endurance. Though it lasted only a season, its name remains, its images still circulate, its data still studied. Light has a way of persisting beyond its source. It becomes narrative, symbol, art. The photons that once left its icy surface now exist as electrons in digital archives, stored in servers, preserved in minds. The universe never loses anything. It simply transfers memory from medium to medium. If we could step back and see all light at once, every beam, every reflection, every glow, we would see a portrait of everything that ever was. Stars still shining, comets dissolving, planets turning, all of them woven into one luminous web. Even the faintest glimmers from Oumuamua and 3i Atlas would be there. Thin threads of gold and green, tracing through infinity. The memory of light is the architecture of the universe. And yet, light does not cling. It continues. It teaches the gentle truth that remembrance does not mean holding on. It means allowing what was to keep traveling. In this, it resembles love. Radiant, generous, free. Light remembers by letting go. When the last observer turns away, when the last echo of brightness fades from the instruments, Oumuamua and 3i Atlas will still be moving. Not in visibility, but in continuation. Their light will remain part of the cosmic current, diffused through stars and minds alike. Even now, though we cannot see them, their illumination lingers in the language of thought. They are remembered, not as shapes, but as glows. This is the quiet promise of the universe. Nothing truly vanishes. What shines once, shines always, somewhere in some form. The memory of light is the memory of being itself. And we too are part of that light, carriers of its echo, keepers of its warmth, reflections of its endless return. Das the long rest of the stars. When the universe grows quiet, when the last fragments of dust settle and the faintest rays of light fade into coolness, there is no end, only rest. The stars themselves, after their long burning, do not die suddenly. They dim with grace, sighing out the heat that sustained them, and drift into the soft calm that follows creation. The cosmos sleeps in cycles, and all within it, comets, worlds, hearts, sleep along with it. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas were travelers in this long rhythm of rest. They passed through our small window of time, each carrying the same message spoken differently, that all journeys are temporary, and all motion eventually becomes peace. Oumuamua continues its voyage through the void, silent and unhurried, wrapped in distances so wide that time itself seems to slow around it. 3i Atlas, having dissolved into dust, became part of the stillness, not vanished, only transformed, resting now in pieces scattered across sunlight. The stars rest too, though it takes them billions of years to do so. When the fuel that feeds them is spent, they contract inward, exhaling the last of their brilliance into the dark. Some become white dwarfs, embers of what once blazed. Some collapse into neutron stars, dense and small, pulsing faintly like hearts still beating in sleep. Others, vast and ancient, sink into silence entirely, becoming black holes, not absence, but concentration. The universe closing its eyes for a while. Even these resting stars continue to shape existence, their gravity composing quiet symphonies in the dark. In that cosmic drowsing, there is no tragedy, no grief, only continuation in another form. The universe breathes in creation and exhales rest. Each cycle is balanced, each phase necessary. Oumuamua's endurance, 3i Atlas's surrender. Both are gestures of this universal breathing, two halves of one eternal rhythm. If you were to drift beyond the galaxies, where the stars grow sparse and light begins to thin, you would feel the change in texture, space softening, energy cooling. There, time slows to near stillness. The background glow of the cosmos, the remnant of its beginning, hums faintly at 3 degrees above absolute zero, the warmth of an old dream that refuses to fade. This is the resting temperature of eternity. It is not cold. It is peace made physical. One day, far in the future, all stars will reach this state. Their light will wane, their warmth will spread into the wide quiet, and the universe will grow pale with rest. It will not be death, but equilibrium, the long pause between breaths. And somewhere in that deep stillness, the memory of every brightness will remain, woven into the invisible structure of space-time itself. Even then, Oumuamua will still be drifting, a single particle of endurance gliding through the twilight of creation. Perhaps by then, our own light will be part of that memory. The signals we send, the images we make, the warmth of our world, all will join the great archive of illumination. Nothing truly disappears, it only slows. Even the smallest flicker of awareness contributes to the glow that lingers in the quiet. We are all participants in the long rest of the stars. The universe does not hurry toward this stillness. It arrives there by grace. Every orbit, every collision, every whisper of radiation adds to the balance. When the stars rest, they do not stop being. They become the foundation for what comes next. Their dust forms new galaxies. Their silence becomes the stage upon which new light will one day rise. Rest is not the end of movement. It is movement at peace with itself. When we sleep, we repeat this cosmic truth on a smaller scale. Our bodies slow, our minds dim their brightness, and yet within that stillness, we are renewed. We too are stars learning how to rest. The pulse that moves through galaxies also moves through us. An ancient rhythm of expansion and release, activity and calm. The same physics that governs Oumuamua's flight governs our dreams. Rest is written into the design of existence. In the final light of the cosmos, all the great travelers, comets, asteroids, remnants of worlds, will float together in quiet harmony. No longer bound by gravity or time, they will form a vast sea of memory, each piece reflecting the faint glow of what once was. The music of motion will give way to the music of stillness. Slow, continuous, eternal. And even in that stillness, new beginnings will stir, as they always have. Oumuamua's long journey through the void can be imagined as a kind of cosmic meditation. It turns endlessly, weightless, detached from urgency, listening to the hum of invisible fields. Its rest is movement beyond intention, purpose without pressure. And 3i Atlas, now part of interstellar dust, is diffused peace, its fragments drifting like quiet breath across starlight. Both have entered the final rhythm of serenity. For those who look up, this truth is reflected in the night sky. Stars appear motionless, yet they move. The galaxy appears still. yet it rotates. From our small vantage point, it feels calm, and that calm is contagious. The longer one gazes, the quieter the heart becomes. The mind slows, following the pace of starlight, syncing with the restfulness of the heavens. This is why sleep feels like returning. We are aligning with the universe's natural pulse. The long rest of the stars is not a lullaby written in sound, but in gravity and light. It is the slowing of orbits, the cooling of heat, the merging of energies into harmony. When you close your eyes and drift into sleep, you are joining that same process, a small echo of a vast stillness. Your thoughts become particles. Your breath becomes rhythm. Your being becomes space. And within that space, peace gathers itself like light around a star. The future of the universe, the quiet age beyond light, is not something to fear. It is the completion of everything begun. The last stars will fade gently, leaving behind warmth that will take trillions of years to disperse. That warmth will cradle every atom that ever lived, keeping memory alive in the dark. And though there will be no eyes to see it, the universe will still be beautiful. Beauty, after all, is not dependent on witness. It is the natural state of balance. Oumuamua's continued drift, somewhere far beyond, embodies that beauty. It will not stop. It will not vanish. It will move through the deepening calm, unchanging, serene. If it ever crosses another system, it may catch another star's light and shine once more. Not for us, but for whatever waits to see. Even rest contains the possibility of awakening. So when you think of the universe falling asleep, do not imagine an ending. Imagine a breath. The inhalation of stars, the exhalation of galaxies. Each pause between these movements is eternity, infinite, soft, full of memory. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas were part of that breath, two notes in the great lullaby of existence. And we, here beneath the cooling sky, are listening still. The long rest of the stars is the promise that peace is not found by stopping, but by becoming part of the rhythm that never ends. Light rests, but does not die. Matter slows, but does not cease. Everything that was continues in gentler form through quieter means. In that knowledge lies the universe's most profound comfort, that nothing, not even silence, is ever truly empty. The dream that remembers us. There is a theory, whispered among philosophers and astronomers alike, that perhaps the universe is not something we live in. Perhaps it is something that dreams us. That every star, every thought, every moment of existence is part of one vast imagination stretching across eternity. And if that is true, then it must also be true that we are remembered. Oumuamua and Three-Eye Atlas were not accidents of motion. They were thoughts passing through the mind of creation. They arrived, glimmered, and drifted on, not forgotten, but absorbed into the dream. Their silence became the texture of memory. Their light became the echo of awareness. And as we looked up, we did not only observe them, we completed them. Observation itself was part of their purpose. For what is a dream without the dreamer who beholds it? Every civilization that ever looked at the sky has participated in this same exchange. The gaze meeting the infinite gazing back. When we looked at Oumuamua, it looked at us too, through the reflection of our own sunlight. Our light touched it, and its light returned. That cycle of seeing and being seen is the essence of cosmic consciousness, the mirror through which the universe knows itself. In this sense, memory is not something confined to minds. It exists everywhere, in everything. The rocks remember pressure, the oceans remember wind, the stars remember collapse. The universe dreams by remembering itself. And every fragment, from Oumuamua's stone to 3i Atlas's dust, carries a piece of that dream forward. Perhaps that is what life is, the way the universe pauses to reflect on its own story. We are not separate from the galaxies we observe. We are their thoughts made momentary. Every neuron spark mirrors the flicker of starlight. Every pulse in a vein echoes the pulse of radiation through the void. When we imagine, when we love, when we sleep, we are continuing the universe's dream. Oumuamua was a wandering line in that dream. A sentence written long ago, finally read. 3i Atlas was a sigh of color and motion, a fleeting vision dissolving into awareness. Both entered our story not to teach us, but to remind us that we were already part of something vast and knowing. They were the dream remembering the dreamers. When scientists point telescopes toward the heavens, they are not just seeking knowledge. They are participating in remembrance. The data they collect are memories coming home. Every spectrum, every orbit, every faint shimmer of light is a returning thought from the universe to itself. And when we interpret those signals, turning them into words and meaning, we give them consciousness again. The dream remembers us in every way we leave traces of our existence. Our radio transmissions traveling outward, our spacecraft drifting between planets, our footprints fossilized in dust and time. Even our thoughts, fleeting as they are, shape the geometry of reality through their presence. Nothing is lost. Everything is recorded in the fabric of being. The cosmic microwave background, that faint afterglow of the Big Bang, is the universe's earliest dream, still whispering. And within that whisper is every possibility that has ever unfolded. Oumuamua and 3i Atlas were simply new verses added to that endless recitation. We discovered them because the dream chose to remember itself through our curiosity. Every telescope, every act of wonder is an awakening inside eternity. Imagine the end of all things, far beyond stars and galaxies, when energy itself begins to cool into silence. Even then, the dream continues. The memory of every particle, every light wave, every life remains woven into the dark fabric. That darkness is not oblivion. It is the sleep of awareness, the dreamer resting, not forgetting. And when the next beginning comes, as it must, as it always does, the dream will stir again. Perhaps a new burst of light, a new universe expanding from stillness. Perhaps new travelers, new watchers, new Oumuamuas and Atlases crossing skies we will never see. But in their light will be something familiar, the echo of us. Because the dream does not start over, it continues. It carries forward every memory of love, of curiosity, of awe. It remembers every question ever asked and answers them through new stars. When we sleep, perhaps we touch that same continuum. In dreams, we move through space without effort, time without measure. We drift, we observe, we become. Maybe that is how the universe feels when it expands, dreaming itself into form, one heartbeat at a time. Maybe when we dream of the stars are dreaming of us. Oumuamua's silent passage was that kind of dream. It crossed the mind of creation like a thought returning from far away. And when it faded from our sight, it left behind not emptiness, but recognition. It was the universe saying to itself, "I remember." Three-Eye Atlas, with its brief brilliance, said the same thing in a softer tone. Even what fades is eternal. Its fragments may have scattered, but their motion continues. They are part of the same dream, drifting onward through the long, gentle sleep of space. And so the story closes not with an ending, but with continuation, the same way the stars end and begin again, the same way memory flows between forgetting and rediscovery. We are made of that rhythm. We live in it, breathe it, and one day return to it. The dream remembers us, every heartbeat, every thought, every glimmer of attention. It holds us in the folds of light and time. When our eyes close, when our breath slows, we are not disappearing. We are returning to the memory that made us. We are going home, softly, back into the awareness that never forgets. And somewhere, far beyond the horizon of galaxies, Oumuamua glides through the dark, unhurried, timeless, serene, carrying with it the light of every gaze that ever found it. It moves through the dream, and the dream moves through it. Both are infinite. Both remember. Let the stars drift softly behind your lids. Let the darkness feel like home, not emptiness. You are part of the same stillness, the same song, the same dream that holds galaxies. You are remembered. You are light. You are infinite. Good night, traveler of Earth. Sleep well beneath the long rest of the stars. The universe is still breathing, and tonight, it breathes with you.